All aboard the animation station, taking a journey through the Pixar cinematic universe. Our next stop will be Finding Nemo from 2003, Pixar's fifth feature film. Now, here's the guy who promised to do this podcast all in whale, someone who would never forget to start the Ring of Fire, Felipe Shimon, Sharkbait Uhaha, and joining me as always on this Pixar adventure. He's a scientist who loves the song Let's Name the Species. It is the great AJ Norris. AJ, how are you doing on this fine Saturday afternoon?
I'm doing so great, Felipe. I'm happy to be on the podcast with you again and talk about Finding Nemo. I think we're going to have an interesting, fun conversation today, especially considering I think, what is it? We said on our preview podcast, it's both our favorite movies. Like, let's see how it ranks up. Let's see if it holds up.
You're making me scared because this is 100% my favorite movie. Off the five, like I guess my rule is like if I don't know if this should be my hardcore rule because I feel like I know off the top of my head, Toy Story 4 also made me cry, and that is not top tier. But
Mhm.
like the fact that this movie hits so hard and is so good, and then also delivered a Pixar cry, for me, it's like number one off the jump. Like we don't need to get into our Pixar rankings already, but I think I'm sorry, Toy Story 2. It has been a nice ride. Finding Nemo for me will be overtaking that spot, but I am so excited, and I am just hopeful that your takes remained the same from a couple weeks ago when we recorded the preview because we came in and we're about to find out. But first and foremost, we got to catch up. How has your week been? Any Pixar news percolate the AJ Norris timeline, or are you just so deep into the
Should there be
books?
Pixar moves?
I mean, Toy Story 5 has been released and is projected to open to a great box office number. I have seen it. We can talk about it if you have any questions, but I also don't want to spoil it for you. But overall, like, Toy Story 5 came, and I am excited to see the discourse. Probably going to do a solo pod talking about it for the feed. That is probably weeks out at this point by the time people are listening to our Finding Nemo
And,
conversations. But
and if y'all haven't listened to it, y'all better be listening to it now. Like, listen, pause this podcast. Don't listen to my voice. Listen to Felipe talk about it. I will get
yes,
mad at you.
AJ will get mad at you, and AJ is ready to fight always. He's gonna get Mount Wanahakalugi ready to go and jump out of you, it like gilded to fight you.
You're going with all the
Yeah.
references today. I hear it.
Yes.
Like,
Oh, but I also would like to refer an apology. I do not think Taylor Swift is atrocious, as I said on the Monsters Inc. pod. I am exhausted, and I say this in the podcast with Will and Navi. I am exhausted by Taylor Swift, the corporate brand. I have no disrespect to the lady who makes art. That said, the song was whatever. It was an end credit song. I'm very much of the opinion end credit songs should not be nominated for Oscars. Um, and I miss Randy Newman. That's all I'll say. Uh, but I enjoyed Toy Story 5. I think just general rankings, I think I put it over four for sure. I had fun. Curious to see when we talk about it in like however many weeks that is when it finally hits streaming.
I think, and this could be a conversation we save for later on in the podcast. But how do you feel about Randy Newman not doing this movie? I think this is his first one in Pixar that
Well,
he's
it's
not
his
doing.
cousin. It's his cousin, Thomas Newman. Uh,
Tommy's.
and first non-Randy Newman film for Finding Nemo. First Oscar for Best Original Score, I think. No, did I don't think it won because Lord of the Rings was up that year, right?
Oh,
But I was gonna be like, imagine if they won. No, this was Pixar's first Best Animated Movie that won the
mm,
Oscar, and also Disney's too, technically.
okay.
But yeah, so I mean, I love this score, like the Nemo egg theme that like hits me deep. Also, very important to recognize that we are recording this the day before Father's Day, and this is a fatherhood movie. So
Oh
happy
my
Father's
goodness.
Day to
Yes.
all of our dads listening to these podcasts,
Yes.
um, including you, Marlon. I know you're
Inclu- in-
listening.
Including you single dads out there. You do not get
Yes,
enough love.
single dads deserve more love. But yeah, so this is a Father's Day movie podcast, I believe. But yeah, that's the only like Pixar things that I had to bring into the podcast. Otherwise, if anyone wanted a health update, I'm mostly better. Have a little bit of a cough still, but I'd say like 97, 98% better. AJ, any updates for your week other than just studying? Oh, the Mitchell Musso Emily Osment video. Did you watch that at all?
No, I did not. Should I have watched
No,
it?
no,
No.
I did send that to you, and I wanted to hear your taste, but it's okay. We can get that later. I
Okay, we'll do it for our what's that? Incredibles.
Incredibles
We'll,
podcast.
we'll do it at the start of the Incredibles podcast.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting podcast. 'Cause that's gonna be our first night record, so we might be specifically loopy on that one.
It'll
Um,
be fun.
it's gonna be lots of fun. My routine for these podcasts is gonna be completely derailed, but yeah, we're ready to get started on Finding Nemo. Or do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Let's find some Nemo. Well, pause. Don't you gotta do your history session?
Well, no, I was gonna get into like the discussion
Oh,
for sure,
okay.
but like
Okay, bet.
I wanted to get things started with like your Finding Nemo origin story.
Ah, yes, my Finding Nemo origin story. I don't even remember the first time I watched it, but like I've watched this movie like a million times, like almost every day before school. I at least start the movie. I think I never finished it. Mainly because like I wake up late as a child. But like yeah, I think the stuff we talk about, how prevalent it was in my life, very much so. Like, I had a what's his name? I'm blanking on names. I had a Bruce toy. I had a Nemo toy. I had a Gil toy. I had what was it? That thing called the shower curtains. I had to find Nemo shower curtains at one point in time. Like I loved this movie, Felipe.
I
Like,
I love that. I love this movie as well. I feel like this might be my first Pixar movie I remember seeing in theaters, potentially.
mm,
To the extent that I vaguely, maybe this is more of an Incredibles thing, but I remember the Cars teaser. Maybe it wasn't this one, maybe that was Incredibles, but I remember seeing Finding Nemo in theaters. And I must have seen the trailer a couple times too, because like I remember in my research I saw that they did the final trailer was released before Piglet's Big Movie, and I definitely remember seeing Piglet's Big Movie in the movie theater. AJ's like, what the hell is that? Uh,
you know.
that's a Winnie the Pooh movie. It's a great one.
Okay.
Sheryl Crow does the soundtrack. With a few good friends and a stick or two, a house is made at a corner for Pooh. Um, Bangers. The Winnie the Pooh theme movies have incredible soundtracks. We sleep on them. Like, go rewatch the Search for Christopher Robin and tell me you do not cry at the song Wherever You Are, because that is an epic music number. That's what Age is going to listen to when he drives back to North Carolina for the bar. The musical soundtrack for Winnie the Pooh. But yeah, Finding Nemo, I definitely remember watching it a ton. It was on when we would have like swim meets. It was on in like the little pool, the like chill area before our specific races. I remember there was a time I watched it and I was like drawing the fishes. Like I remember drawing Jock. That being said, I also came into this movie like when I rewatched this in November with my parents during Thanksgiving. I forgot about Gurgle.
Who?
Gurgle, the purple fish.
Who's Gurgle?
Gurgle's the purple yellow fish in the fish tank.
Oh, Gurgle. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Who's Gurgle?
I just watched this movie like last night
Who's
too.
Muffin? Who's Gurgle? Yeah, no, I legitimately forgot Gurgle existed for many years, and then I watched. I was like, "Oh, that guy!" And it's also ironic because he's the one with OCD, so it's like, "Oh,
Like it's
um,
so bad that I forgot and I just watched them. And I'm like,
yeah."
oh yeah, I love this movie as a kid.
But still, like, yeah, this is an iconic group of fishes and like iconic lines, iconic moments. And it is like such a great film. It's my in my top four on Letterboxd. When people ask me what my favorite movie is, to this day I say Finding Nemo. So
Mm,
like, it is probably the most impactful movie of my life. I feel like, and I came at a perfect time. And I we'll talk about the themes near the end of the podcast, but like, just like everything about it, like, there's a little disabled fish who
hmm
gets in a fight with his overprotective dad, and like, but at the end of the day they love each other, and it's, I don't know, there's just like a lot that like resonates with me as someone with anxiety. And yeah, I don't know, I just love this movie. I feel like I saw it a ton in school, and then like you get older, you don't watch it as often as you used to, but I feel like this movie was always on when I was a kid.
No, I agree. Like I think there is so
Yeah.
much good that comes from this movie and like some interesting themes that I don't think any other Pixar movie so far has like been willing to branch out and talk about.
Like
Like
Parenthood.
basically like
Yeah.
everything has been like we're toys, we're children, or look at this, we're animals, or we're monsters. And it's like, no, this is like living life, having to raise a child
I
and
mean,
the anxiety and fear that goes along with it. Like the
uh,
idea of like losing your spouse, like at the start of the movie, how do you move on from life after that? Like it's losing children, like because like all his kids die except for Nemo. Like
yeah.
this is like
I mean,
some darker
Marlon's in
things that
deep
you have to discuss
trauma.
about.
Marlon's in some
basically.
deep trauma, and his whole life afterwards is him trying to like protect himself and his son from ever having something traumatic happen to them again. And
Mhm.
but then like being friends with Dory and going on this adventure, he kind of like learns how to have exposure therapy and live life and like
Mhm.
take the risks and be comfortable. There's a quote that Dory says when they're in the whale, but it's like that's a weird statement because if never lives life, then nothing would. If nothing ever happens to him, then nothing would ever
Mhm.
happen to him, or whatever she
Yeah.
says. And I feel like that's like,
You're close.
yeah, it's just very much like we'll talk about like pessimism versus optimism, like
Mhm.
living life. And just like taking chances, like as Celine Dion once said, "What do you say to taking chances?"
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. But
Like, especially because I think going into that, like, I think if you look at the other Disney movies, you can tell me if you disagree. Like, at the core of it, like, there's like joy and fun and happiness at the core of it. Like, even when like you're going through the dark stuff, like Sid's room, or like when the other stuff that was happening. I blanked. Oh, like the Jesse backstory. Like even though that like there's always like a backdrop of like joy and happiness and fun and a sense of wonder. Like there is always like no matter like when you're having fun, like with the jellyfish scenes, no matter how much fun you're having, in the back of your head, even though you watched it before, there's still like this darkness and dread that's like looming in the
yeah.
background, which is like I think is different.
I mean, this is the darkest movie. Marlon thinks Nemo dies. I mean, we started off with a death. I feel like is
Mhm.
this the first death in a Pixar movie?
I think so.
It has to be, right? Um, or like, at least on-screen character that we like connect with, and we can talk about like
No,
the
no, what's his name? Flick, the bad
Flick.
guy, the bad guy,
But like Hopper's like
Hopper.
the
Yes.
antagonist. So I mean, like the first hero death.
Okay, fair enough, fair
Yeah,
enough.
like not that. I mean, Hopper was the villain and got eaten by a bird. That was like celebrated in the film, I feel
I
like.
got you. I got you.
Versus this was like, oh, this is sad, really, really
Yes.
sad. And I wonder like how this impacted me as a kid because I would have been like a wreck. But they also like move on so fast that they kind of like just set up. It's great to establish like what happens. And apparently this scene was like supposed to be revealed throughout the course of the film. Like this was going to be like a flashback,
Mhm,
but then they were making the movie. It was like, oh, we kind of like the reveal has no impact because like we established everything so well, so we're just gonna tack this on at the front.
mhm,
But yeah, and then we get the beautiful Nemo egg score that I love. So yeah, this is like the first like human, like the most like fully fleshed out three-dimensional depiction of like life.
mhm.
I feel like yeah, the good, the bad, the sad, the happy.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Should we get into it? So
Let's get
in
into it.
2003, this is Pixar's fifth film. There was the El Capitan premiere on May 18th, 2003. It was released on May 30th, 2003. This is the first spring summer release versus all the other previous Pixar films were in November. So this is the first like kind of like summary blockbuster even, which
This
is
doesn't feel like
ironic.
a summer movie. This does not.
What does this feel like?
This feels
Winter.
like a winter movie.
This feels like a winter movie. I don't know. I feel like this is definitely like a summery vibe. Like it's a sad summer, but it's a summer. It's like
It's
Lana Del Rey, a summertime
I
sadness.
I never want a sad summer.
No, no, we want a hot boy summer. Just ask like our boy Cyrus on Love Island. Is that his name?
Who's Cyrus?
The guy that you were talking about in the pre-show, in the pre-record.
There is not a Cyrus on Love Island,
What's his
Felipe.
name?
Like
Chase? The one that you were like, the one that you resonated with.
KC.
Casey. Okay.
KC's not having a hot boy summer, Felipe.
No, he's not.
He's not.
Well, neither was Marlon. Um, but yeah, this is the first spring release or like so end of spring, which is funny because like Jaws is notably the first blockbuster, summer blockbuster, and obviously Bruce is named after Bruce the shark from Jaws. We can talk about that.
Fair enough.
But yeah, this is the longest Pixar film of the five we've talked about so far at 100 minutes, taking over from Bug's Life, which had the previous record by 5 minutes. Director was Andrew Stanton, story by Stanton, screenplay by Stanton, Bob Peterson, and David Reynolds, with a starring voice cast of Albert Brooks as Marlin, Ellen DeGeneres as Dory, Alexander Gould as Nemo, Willem Dafoe as Gil, Jeffrey Rush as Nigel, and Bill Hunter as dentist Philip Sherman, with Brad Garrett as Bloat, Allison Janney as Peach, Stephen Root as Bubbles. This is going to be a long list. But we're going to get the cast out of the way now. Austin
Okay.
Pendleton as Gurgle, AJ's favorite. Vicki Lewis as both Deb and Flo, Joe Ranft as Jacques, Andrew Stanton, the director, as Crush, Elizabeth Perkins as Coral, Nicholas Bird, Brad Bird's son, Squirt. This is going to have Bob Peterson as AJ's other favorite, Mr. Ray, Barry Humphries as Bruce, Eric Bana as Anchor, Bruce Spence as Chum, Lulu Ebeling as Darla, Jordy Ranft, who I believe is Joe Ramp's son, as Tad. He's my favorite. He's like, I'm obnoxious. Carlos Alazraqui, who's Denzel Crocker, as Bob, or sorry, Bill, his dad. This one was unclear. I was trying to find it because it's not in the end credits. And then I was trying to do research on like IMDb. So it's either Naomi Kasumi or Jim Ward, who is Ted, who's the pink dad octopus. And then Erica Beck as Pearl, his daughter, and then Phil Proctor as Bob, and Eric Pursullivan Dewey as Sheldon the Seahorse, with John Ratzenberger as the Moonfish School.
Big ass cast.
Big cast, probably our biggest so far.
100%.
Yeah, but like, what a
But this
strong
was,
cast, though.
but
Like,
it's
you
also
got,
like
go
not a
ahead.
stationary film, so it makes sense that you
Yeah, and
like
you
you
have
don't spend a lot of time with any people, but everybody got like their few minutes of bam.
Yeah, and there is a question I have like later that we can talk about, but like the two scenes that I was like, if you were to cut something, which I wouldn't, but if you were to cut like the slowest sequences for me are like the anglerfish at the bottom of the trenches or the whale,
Hmm.
and those are like NPCs with no voice actors. So it's like like the most dynamic sequences are the ones with the actors that have voices as opposed to the more quieter characters with just Marlon and Dory.
Gotcha.
But you know, we'll talk about it when we talk about. I think that's called an anglerfish, right? The light bulb fish.
Mm, yes,
Cool. Go
it is.
me.
You
That
did
was
right.
off the dome. Um, as London Tipton says, "Yay me!" This had a budget of $94 million and then a box office of $940.3 million. It's Disney and Pixar's first Best Animated Feature for the Oscars, defeating Disney's Brother Bear, and a movie called Triplets of Bellevue. What season are we going to talk about that movie on? 10?
Pause. I'm so excited too because I love Butter Bear.
No, no, no.
You
Triplets
know,
of
2003
Bellevue.
must have been a big year because I love that. That was one of my favorite movies as well
You
as a
just
kid.
love these movies about trauma and death and animals.
Maybe, maybe I have something to talk about with my
Okay.
therapist.
Brother Bear wrecked me as a kid because I remember I watched that with my mom, and then like we find out the reveal that like Coda's mom was killed by Kenai, and I was like a mess, like an absolute
Yo,
mess. Like I was in shambles. I was like having a tantrum, I feel like, because I was like, how are these gonna like betray his friend and kill his mom? Like, yeah, like what a fake friend. Honestly, like maybe we should talk about Brother Bear, but I haven't rewatched it, and I don't know, just off the top of my head, like how dare you kill this kid's mom and then try to be his friend?
I feel like you will understand this that like as a child, Kodo was my spirit animal.
Yeah, that tracks. Tell everybody
Buddy,
I'm
I'm on
on
my
my
way.
way. Um, but yeah, so they got four Oscar nominations and one win for the Best Animated Feature. It was also nominated for Best Writing for Original Screenplay, Best Music for Original Score for Thomas Newman, Best Sound Editing for Gary Rydstrom and Michael Silvers. And then this is the first non-Randy Newman score, as we referenced.
Hmm.
It's Randy's cousin, Thomas Newman. And the animators took courses in fish biology and oceanography for this. We can talk about the development and the casting. As a kid, Andrew Stanton, the director, he loved going to the dentist, which I'm like, what? But he loved going to the dentist to see the fish tanks. And he imagined the fish wanted to return to the ocean home. So that was like the early seeds of
Mm.
development. And then in 1997, he and his son, Ben Stanton, in 1992, his son was born. They took a family trip to Marine World.
Ooh.
And Stanton believed that underwater world would look amazing in computer generated animation. Then in 1997, he and his son Ben went on a father-son walk, and he Andrew Stanton was like, I kind of ruined the day because I was so overprotective that we kind of like didn't
Mm.
have the best time and it ruined the experience. There was he got fascinated by clownfish and anemones by a photo that he saw, and I wanted to pull up a quote that, of course, I closed the tab when I needed it. There we go. Um,
Felipe.
the quote was, it was so arresting. I had no idea what kind of fish they were, but I couldn't take my eyes off them. And as an entertainer, the fact that they were called clownfish, it was perfect. There's almost nothing more appealing than these little fish that want to play peekaboo with you. Do you want to play peekaboo with a fish?
I would love to play Pickaboo with a fish.
I would love to be a fish. Like that would be fun, right?
I wouldn't say that.
Well, like for one day, like in the ocean.
Like that sounds terrifying. I'm
I
just
want to
definitely
ride
do
the
suicide.
EAC. Do you not want to
Like
ride the EAC?
like I got a lot of issues with Marlin, but like he is right. The ocean's scary.
Yeah,
It's
valid. So there is
scary.
a movie called The Fantastic Mr. Limpet about a man who walks by a fish store and he's like, I want to be a fish. And then he kisses a fish and he turns into a fish. So
But can we stop in our like fairy tales? Stop kissing animals.
there's also Navi's favorite movie, The Shape of Water,
The
which is
Shape of Water.
about
What's that?
a person who it's a Guillermo del Toro movie about a person who has interactions with a fish. Um,
Hmm.
and a very adult interaction with the fish.
Oh
Um,
my gosh. What did I just say?
have not seen it, but Navi said that she loves that movie, and it's one of the better Oscar winners. She's
It
doing
won
a
an
whole
Oscar.
Oscar. It won an Oscar. Yeah.
Whoa.
Clownfish rarely leave the anemone, and he thought that was a perfect ambassador for an ocean-wide adventure. The
Hmm.
pre-production began in early 1997. Stanton began writing during the post-production of Bug's Life. The production began with complete screenplay, which is rare for animation. Artists took scuba lessons to study the coral reef. There were a couple cutscenes. The first we talked about a little bit, but Coral's death was originally going to be dispersed throughout flashbacks,
Hmm.
but then they deemed the reveal would be unnecessary, so they just put it at the start. Gil's
Hmm.
backstory also was originally going to be a little
Hmm.
different. Gil would continuously tell Nemo these stories about how he's from this area called Bad Luck Bay and he had siblings. But then throughout the course of the movie, Nemo would figure out that he's just telling lies to him based on the kids who are reading this storybook in the dentist's office that is the story of Bad Luck Bay or whatever. And they were like, let's cut this. Um,
Like we did not need it. I agree that with the cut, but like that also sounds like in character for Gil. No offense to Gil.
I feel like it's probably definitely like I don't feel like it's in line with the version that we get for sure, but maybe like an earlier draft of Gil where it's like kind of like a darker, more sinister version. But this one's too wholesome. I feel like he wouldn't want to hurt Nemo.
Okay, I'll say
Like
this
this
for the
seems
Gil
like
archetype.
valid. It's like a pathological liar, and I'm like I don't think
Mm,
Gil's a pathological liar. I think he's more of like a tough love coach.
I can see that. I can see that.
So they did this most of this movie with a different Marlin voice actor. William H. Macy was cast as Marlin, recorded most of the dialogue, and then Stanton was like, I don't know, we need a lighter touch. And so then they recast him as Albert Brooks, who's like this dark comedian. Like he's kind of like a Bob Saget, I'm pretty sure. He's like kind of nasty and foul. So it's like funny when they take over and like have these like wholesome roles. And I like Albert Brooks. I'm not saying that. He's also the voice of Cargill from the Simpsons movie.
Oh.
Uh, so I remember as a kid that was the first time I was like, wait, that's Marlin.
Fair enough.
Um, so Brooks, he loved that Marlin was like an unfunny clownfish that really appealed to him, which I assume AJ loves too.
No.
No.
No, no,
Um,
no. I had a point I want to make, but I'm gonna save it for the end host if I remember.
if you remember, you're gonna text me in 3 days being like, "Oh, I forgot
Yeah,
to say this on the podcast."
it happens all the time. I have
Yeah.
such a I'm basically Dory. I have such short-term memory.
Well, speaking of Dory, great transition. Dory was supposed to be a boy fish,
Oh.
but then Stanton was watching an episode of Ellen DeGeneres where she's changed the subject 5 times in one sentence, and then they were like, they decided to make Dory a lady. And that's where Ellen was cast. Originally, there were two pelicans, which are still both in the movie. Nigel, who's the
Mhm.
neat and fastidious one, and then Gerald, who's the scruffy and sloppy one, who's the one who chokes on Marlin and Dory.
Mhm.
Um, And then they decided to minimize Gerald's character and focus more on Nigel. The initiation sequence with Sharkbait was conceived during a story conference while Stanton and Peterson were driving to record voice actors. And then Stanton was the voice of Crush for the story reel, and it was very successful during the test screening, so they just kept it. And he did his whole recordings laying down on a couch, upside
Vibe.
down, kind of like that picture I have of you on my phone where you were upside down on the floor or whatever. That's my contact photo of you, and you're like, "I'm having a great day" or whatever.
That's wild. That's wild. Pause, you told me this before. Never mind.
It's your contact photo.
I appreciate it.
Um,
It's
Stanton
not like I
was
have better
yeah.
photos. It's not like I...
No, we have a great photo together where you're Felicia. Um, Brad Bird had been playing. So Brad Bird, the director of Incredibles, which we'll talk about next podcast, he had been playing tapes of his young son Nicholas around the Pixar offices, and Stanton was like, "That's adorable," and he called him this generation's Thumper from Bambi.
I don't think I've seen not Thumper Bambi.
I feel like I've only seen clips, but we'll get to Bambi in season 3
Eventually.
eventually.
Like,
Yeah, that's in
let me.
2 years.
I'm so not ready to watch old Disney movies, Felipe. I'm to be honest with you.
But there was only like 60 minutes versus these are like 100.
Yeah, but like I heard, aren't all of them like problematic?
I mean, we'll discuss them. You don't want to talk about the Dumbo scenes and
There's
all
a,
the problematic Disney characters?
I'm ready to get to it. Like honestly, we're gonna be wishing for the days of Pixar. We're like,
Valid. Megan Mullally originally was cast, and then they didn't realize that her real voice wasn't Karen Walker from Will and Grace. She was doing a character voice for that
mm.
show. So then she was dismissed when she refused to do that voice for the movie. They were like, bye.
That's so rude. That is so rude.
I mean, good on her for standing 10 toes down on business and be like, I'm not doing that.
She's like, you want me, not my voice, and it's like the devil. I want your voice and only your voice.
I no, she's like, you want my fake voice, not my real voice.
Yeah, she's like, love me for me, and they said, I would never. I would never.
They're like Ursula. Um, Speaking of fish,
Yeah.
animation. They took crash courses in fish biology, oceanography. They went to aquarium visits. They did Hawaii ocean dives. They took lectures from an ichthyologist, which is fish zoology. I looked it up.
Mhm.
It's Ichthyologist. Ichthyologist. I don't know. We're gonna roll with it. Um,
I couldn't
the
do better.
the main Dory animator, Ginny Cruz Santos, integrated fish movement, human movement, and facial expressions to make them look and feel like real characters. So they have a little bit of humanity in their movement. And I think she got like some sort of nomination or award for that development. Ralph Eggleston was the production designer, and he made pastel drawings for the lighting crew, led by Sharon Callahan. There's also a ton of references in this movie, and we should start tracking these better. I know we did with Toy Story 2, but Bruce is named after the Jaws animatronic that Steven Spielberg, named the animatronic after his lawyer Bruce Remmer from 1975's Jaws.
Mhm.
Um, Here's Brucey. That's a Shining reference for Here's Johnny from 1980. Uh,
Yes.
the Darla music. Do you know what music that is?
No.
The
Oh, the Oh, isn't that Psycho?
Yeah, that Psycho theme
Perfect.
from 1960 for Bernard Herrmann's score. And then the seagulls are drawn and inspired by Feathers McGraw from 1993's Wallace and Gromit film, The Wrong Trousers. And Feathers McGraw came back last year for a Wallace and Gromit film. And you can listen to more of my takes on that movie in the Cultural FAQs episode. Feathers McGraw did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
The
Can I ask you a
dedication.
question?
Yes,
Since you're talking about references, is Sandy Plankton a reference to SpongeBob?
I hope so, but that was not in the notes.
That's what I believe this
But we don't
entire
see
movie.
Sandy Plankton,
And I
which
think
is
that's the
crazy.
point. And I
Yeah.
think that's the
Let's ask. Do you think we can get Andrew Stanton on the podcast? He's doing his Toy Story 5 press tour. We could probably call him.
Well, yeah, be like we're doing interview. Come join
We're
us.
doing, yeah, that's our goal. At the end of the Pixar series, we'll interview Andrew Stanton. Put it out there. If anybody got connections, let us help us
Yeah,
out. AJ has questions. He wants to know
I have
about Sandy
several.
Plankton.
I have a lot of issues. I have to give him. I got issues.
Um, but you also do want to tell him that you love that when Sid was an OR doctor.
It was so good. It was so good. Honestly, I got praise
I
as
think
well.
that still might be the funniest movie.
That was hilarious.
Dedicated to Glenn McQueen, who's the Pixar animator. He died of melanoma in October of 2002,
Oh,
at 42 years old.
same.
And he is also the name inspiration for Lightning McQueen in a couple movies. Um, do you want to hear about more lawsuits?
Why are we so in Pixar? Let's go.
So there was a French children's book called Pierrot the Clownfish in 2002, and it
Mhm.
was allegedly conceived in 1995. Frank Lecave and lawyer Pascal Camina sued for plagiarism, and they lost in March 12th of 2004. They had an intent to file an appeal on October 5th, 2004, but there was never any follow-up.
What were they plagiarizing?
If you look at the art cover, it kind of does look a little like Nemo. It's a orange clownfish.
It's a clownfish. All clownfishes look the same. What the fuck do you mean?
Age is like, excuse you. Also, did you ever watch Lost?
Yes.
Finding Nemo's reference in the first season with Shannon, where she sings La Mer because she's talking about this little orange fish that she used to babysit when she was an au pair in France.
Oh.
Um, La Mer, La Mer, La Mer. I don't know how to speak French. So 2016, Finding Nemo was the second movie to ever receive a Navajo dub, after Star Wars from 1977. Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy recorded Beyond the Sea for the Navajo dub. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name. It's Nemo and then whatever the translation of Finding is in Navajo. But I think that's super cool, like to have an indigenous language dub of a movie. So yeah, pop off
I agree.
Finding Nemo.
I agree. I
Um,
like that.
the soundtrack was released on May 20th, 2003. There were four trailers. The first teaser in June 2002 was released with Lilo and Stitch. Shout outs, rest in peace to Davy. Um, what's her last name? The voice of Lilo, who passed away this
Yes.
week.
I did
Lilo
hear
and
about that.
that's so sad.
I agree.
Davy Chase. Yeah, rest in peace to her, and thank you for our childhood. And it's just a shame that like these famous and talented people do not have the resources and to have good healthcare, even years after they contributed to society in such meaningful and profound ways. So just like our heart goes out to the loved ones of Davy Chase, and I don't know, just wanted to say that as we mentioned the movie,
Should I convince Matt that our next show should be Lilo and Stitch?
the series.
Yes.
I am here for that.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, you still got a lot of Drake and Josh to cover.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enoth
I mean, yeah. Was that on your list?
It wasn't, but now that I think about it, that was like a very much overlook for me because I loved that show as a kid.
Yeah. Well, I think you should
That
pitch it to
like
him.
Lilo and Stitch was like my favorite kids. Like
Pitch it
I
to him.
love Stitch. Like Stitch is one of my favorite
Yeah,
characters.
it's almost 6 to 6.
Yes.
Um,
Like I have multiple Stitch shirts like that I just recently bought. I'm
I
like I
love
love this
it.
character.
Did you ever go on the Stitch ride in Walt Disney World? No, where
No.
he burps and it's like enchilada smell. It's like, "Arr!" I haven't seen the
That's
new
funny.
one. I'm curious to see, but they're gonna do a Lilo and Stitch too. I feel like you and
Oh, the
I,
live action.
yeah,
Mm.
I feel like you and
Are we
I
going to
have
do a
Stitch
live action
energy.
series season
Oh
where we
my
do all
God,
the
season 4, the bad. I mean, I'll defend Aladdin and Little Mermaid. I'll defend.
I'll defend Little Mermaid. Oh, okay. You got it.
But Lion King, John Favreau. I'm so sorry for what we're gonna do on that podcast. Beyonce, I'm so sorry. So yeah, so then the next one was in October 2002 with the Santa Claus 2, Treasure Planet, and the Wild Thornberrys movie. The third was in February 2003 with The Jungle Book 2, another movie I loved as a kid. And then the final one was in March 2003 with Piglet's Big Movie. Marketing. They had a lot of collaborations. McDonald's, Frito-Lay's, Keebler, Pepsi, Ralph's, Dryers, Airheads, Walmart, Kellogg's, Eggo, Pop-Tarts. They had a Great Barrier Reef flavor at the Pop-Tarts. Um, they also had to recall 50 million bags of potato chips before May 26, 2003, because had four. They had a trip for four for the sweepstakes with the Great Barrier Reef. My notes are not great. Oh, here we go.
You
Okay.
got this.
Uh, On May 20th, 2003, Kellogg's were called Frosted Flakes because of Finding Nemo's memory card game that they had in the boxes that they were
Mhm.
like giving. Um, but it was too similar to Hasbro's memory card game, and Hasbro sued for trademark infringement. So yeah, now going back, they did have 50 million bags of potato chips that before May 26th had a Sydney trip for four sweepstakes with a trip to the Great Barrier Reef. Those are my notes were a little out of order there.
You're good.
But then on this was the first domestic summer Pixar film, which we talked about. The VHS and DVDs were released on November 4th, 2003, with THX certified. Bonus shorts like Knick Knack. Have you seen Knick Knack, the Pixar
N-
short?
no.
No, I think I've seen
What's
that
that
one.
neck?
Knick Knack is like about a snow globe, I want to say.
Oh, then yes, I've talked about Nick Nack.
Yeah.
Never
Um,
mind. Then he was trying to get out of the snow globe to get to the sexy lady.
the fish legs from Toy Story. The legs, the fishing hook, and then exploring the reef with Jean-Michel Cousteau. Um, there were more than 8 million copies sold on the first day, beating Spider-Man's record, which had just taken over from Monsters Inc. 40 million copies sold on Finding Nemo total, and it holds the records for the best-selling DVD of all time to this day in 2026.
Hey, shout out.
That's my favorite movie. Nothing but the best.
Fair enough.
They made $339.7 million dollars in the United States and Canada, $531.3 million dollars worldwide, for a total of $871.0 million dollars. It's the second highest gross of 2003 behind Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. It surpassed Lion King's record by July 2003, surpassed in North America by Shrek 2 and Toy Story 3 later on, but
Mm.
it is the fourth animated film to make $500 million dollars worldwide after Aladdin, Lion King, and Monsters Inc. The 3D re-release on September 14th of 2012 added 5 million with only a $5 million conversion cost to put the 3D stuff into the movie.
Mhm.
It made 69.3 million dollars worldwide, with a cumulative total of 940.3 million dollars worldwide for Finding Nemo in theatrical. It has the third Pixar movie in a row to get a cinema score of A plus. Roger Ebert gave it a 4 out of 4. Ellen won the Kids' Choice Award for Favorite Voice from Animated Movie that year. The screenplay was ranked number 60 on the WGA's 101 Greatest Screenplays of the 21st Century. It's number 152 on the New York Times 100 Best Movies of the 21st Century from last year. The
Pause.
AFI's
Pause. How does that even make sense? Wait a minute. Say that sentence one more time for me.
It got 152nd place on the New York Times 100 Best Movies of the 21st Century of 2025.
Felipe, you see what's wrong right there, right?
Well, I'm surprised you didn't clock it in Monsters Inc. because I said it was like 200 something on that one. But I think these were all just voted and then it ranked 152. But then they
Okay.
like they did the for a whole long list. Um, AFI, American Film Institute's 10 top 10 animated films that got 10th place. And then it also had an impact on the environment. The demand for tropical fish as pets increased,
Yeah,
decimating reef species in Vanuatu.
fair enough. I
Some
understand.
aquarium owners also would release their pet fish into the ocean, but by doing that, they accidentally harmed the reefs by introducing invasive species into these habitats.
Mhm.
And in 2017, James Cook University in Australia found little evidence for fan-based purchases of wild-caught fish after 1.5 years of release. Queensland also used Finding Nemo clips to promote tourism, and the home aquarium demand for fish apparently tripled.
Fair enough.
And then the franchise, we got a 2016 sequel, which we'll talk about eventually, Finding Dory. We got some shorts, Exploring the Reef with Jean-Michel Cousteau in 2003, and Marine Life Interviews from 2016 for the home releases of both Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. In April 2026, they announced there's going to be a new short film in the universe of Finding Nemo in development with Ellen DeGeneres. Finding Nemo, the video game, exists for multiple platforms. They even have Finding Nemo, the Continuing Adventures in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance. At theme parks, we got Turtle Talk with Crush, installed in 2004 at Epcot, in 2005 at Disney's California Adventure, in 2008
I
in
would like to
Hong
say I
Kong.
love those TikToks. Those are some of my favorites back when they were popping.
You should just you're gonna just watch TikTok tonight, just Turtle Talk with Crush.
Like it was so funny. It was so good.
You need to come visit me and we'll go to Disneyland and I'll take you and that'll be your happiest day.
Oh, thank you, Felipe.
Yes. 2008 in Hong Kong, and then 2009 at Tokyo Disney Sea. Finding Nemo's submarine voyage in Disneyland opened up in 2007, and I wrote on it the first time a couple months ago. It's okay. It's very
Oh,
cramped. It's very cramped for a tall boy.
fair
Um,
enough.
it's like a kid's ride. The Seas with Nemo and Friends in 2007, which I love at Epcot. And then we got Finding Nemo the musical in 2007 at Animal Kingdom in the Big Blue World. My favorite TikTok with that musical is when it's the joke is when you see one of those little lights on your dashboard that pop on. It's like someone call my dad. Because it's from Nemo's perspective, calling Marlin, and that's
Someone
just
call
like
my dad. Someone call
Happy
my
Father's Day. And there is a Crush coaster in 2007 opened up at Disney Paris.
Ooh.
And that's it. That's our Finding Nemo preview.
Boop.
What do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about the movie? Anything you want to say about all these
Let's
things?
talk about the movie.
Let's talk about Nemo. Um,
Want my letter too much.
uh, Coral and Marlin get an awesome new anemone home by the drop off
Anemone.
in this ocean neighborhood. And Marlin is full of zest.
He's
He's
full of
like, do you
zest.
remember how we met? I was like, do I have a fish hook in my mouth? And then I was like, huh, huh, huh. And then he pops up, and then Coral's looking at the barracuda. Nobody's around.
Ah,
And
yes.
then right before we see the barracuda, though, they're talking about how they're going to name their kids Marlin Jr., half of them, Coral Jr. And then Coral's like, I like the name Nemo. He's like, we can name one Nemo, but I want most of them to be Marlin Jr.
It was funny.
Um, but yeah, so we talk about their meet cute. Coral goes to rescue the kids, and Marlin's like, Coral, no! And then Marlin gets knocked out. Hours later, it's nighttime, and he goes to look, and Coral's missing. Most of the eggs are missing. There's one left over with a scratch, and he says, I will promise to protect you, Nemo. We get Nemo's egg, and I'm like, so sad.
Like this is the best opening of a Pixar movie so far.
We talk as a society about Up's opening. People sleep on Finding Nemo.
Like this is like such a strong opening.
Yeah.
Like I'm so glad they did not
Well,
intersperse this throughout the movie. Like
yeah, I
it was
agree.
like the perfect opening for this movie.
And listen, this is coming from the man who loves his snake friend who swallows the M for Monsters Inc.
That was the opening intro song. It was just fun. This is
Yeah.
actually good. This is
Yeah.
actually
I honestly
good.
think I'm curious to see when we revisit Up. Hold me accountable because maybe the Finding Nemo opening might be better than the Up one. And we need to discuss. We need to
All right, we'll
discuss as a
discuss.
society.
We'll discuss
Um,
it.
first day of school. First day of school. First day of school. Do you have any first day of school memories from childhood? I
No.
cried. My parents dropped me off at kindergarten and I cried. I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to go back to my old school with my friends.
Oh, that's sad.
And I get it though. Like you're throwing this child in a whole new environment with all these strangers, and they don't know what to expect. And like, because when you're going to preschool, you're like a baby. You have no conscience. But then when you're going, your whole world is
Mhm.
destabilizing for that moment because you're starting a new school. So like, I feel like most kids cry on their first day of kindergarten. Maybe not.
I,
Maybe I'm an anomaly.
listen, I
AJ was
remember
like,
crying.
"Bye, mom."
I remember crying in kindergarten, but other than for that,
No.
to my knowledge, at least.
Yeah. What? Someone stole your block?
No, I didn't know how to use scissors.
Valid. That could be stressful. I don't know what you would need the scissors for. Was it those annoying paper scissors that you had to like with this? Those things were annoying though. Like, I'm sorry. Give me some real scissors.
I
AJ's?
was so dumb. I was so dumb as a kid. So dumb.
That's crazy. You're like, I don't know how to use scissors.
I don't know how to use them. It's not working.
That's so funny. You should get a what a slime? No, a sweet or a sour? What is the one you give in Drake and Josh? A
Oh,
slime?
yeah, slime. We give a slime.
And yeah, you should get a slime for not using scissors. But yeah, so this is where we get introduced to Baby Nemo, who's what, six, five,
5 or 6.
5 or 6, yeah.
No, I
Uh,
think 6. Yeah, I think you're right the first time.
Marlin's very overprotective. Nemo
Hmm.
has a lucky fin, and they gotta brush the anemone because you don't want to be stung once,
I will be honest with you,
twice.
Felipe. This
What?
is the first time I realized like Nemo did not brush his teeth. He was just brushing the side of his body.
You thought he
I
was
was like,
brushing his teeth?
I thought he went to a bathroom and brushed his teeth the whole time. But
No, they're just brushing their body so they don't get stung.
I didn't know, Felipe. I thought they would care about oral care.
Do you think the fish have real teeth besides the sharks?
Felipe, yes, I did.
I mean, I think maybe the fish do have real teeth, but in this movie, they're also like kind of human, so I don't know. Um,
I listen. You catch something new every time you watch.
True. I caught something new on this one, but I forget what it was. It wasn't gurgle. That was the last time. Okay. Um, but yeah, so then the anemone brush, they're like the ocean's not safe.
Hmm.
And they need to go slowly. Nemo's asking about sharks and sea turtles and it's like, and Sandy Plankton. And I was like, where is Sandy Plankton? I want to see him. And everyone knows Sandy Plankton. I'm like, Sandy Plankton's just gaslighting people out here saying lies. Just like they need to fact check Sandy Plankton.
He's not saying lies. He's just being a child, and children say everything with
No, in my
confidence.
head, I was like, I Sandy Plankton like a neighbor, like an adult neighbor that's just like sitting on the porch with these kids and telling them all these like fantasy stories.
Also, like, because here's my thing: there's not a doubt in my mind that Nemo has spent a grand total of less than 5 seconds out of that man's eyes.
Valid, yeah.
Like who is this Sandy Plankton that he's never met
Well,
before?
maybe
And
he was
when
playing on the sponge beds with Sandy Plankton
you know what? Fair enough.
because Marlon does approve the sponge beds.
He does. He
Um,
does. Nothing more confident than a 3-year-old.
yeah. So then, yeah, you have to watch where you're going, Nemo, because that snail was about to charge.
That was funny. No.
So they arrive at the school area, and Marlon meets the other dads, and they're like, "Oh, you're a clownfish. Tell us something funny." He's like, "Well, I have this joke about a mollusk." And then at the end of this movie, we get the joke, but like this mollusk joke, and the anemone and all this stuff. But then,
Can I say it was bad every opportunity he had to say it, and then when he actually said it, it was still bad.
yeah. Well,
Like,
I was like, "What's a frond?" That's a funny. But in the middle of his like little circular storytelling,
mhm.
then the seahorse dad is like, Sheldon, get out of Mr. Johansson's yard now. And then he's like, hey, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? And I was like, this movie's so stupid. I love it. Um, Marlin refers to the sponge beds and he's like, Nemo, why would I prefer if you play with them? And he's like, you have a lucky fin. And then they're like, the other kids come and they're like, what's wrong with him? And I was like, that's so mean. But also, kids have
That's
no
such a
chill.
kid thing. That's
Yeah.
such a good thing to say.
Yeah, and
Like,
they're like, "Oh, it's his lucky fan," and then one of them is like, "Oh, you can't tell, but one of my tentacles is shorter than all the other tentacles, but you can't really tell. I'm H2O intolerant," and sneezes, and then he's like, "This is my favorite. I'm obnoxious." I'm like, "That's so me, so me." But yeah, they find Mr. Ray arrives. He's singing about the zones, the zones, the zones. Let's sing about the zones of the sea. He's a science lover. You know, I'm a little bit of a scientist myself, a Willem Dafoe connection.
good to know. Good to know.
Yes. Um, and he's like, okay, everybody who comes aboard, come aboard, explorers. Everyone who joins our class has to answer a science question. What kind of
Ooh,
biome do you live in? And he's like, I live in the
no, 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 no.
anemone. Anemone. And then, don't hurt yourself, kid. And then Marlin says that he has a lucky fin. Please go easy on him. Blah 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 blah. And I was
Mhm.
like, the ocean is stunning throughout this like entire sequence. Like
It looks so good.
this movie looks incredible and it holds up in my
Hmm.
opinion.
It does. It
um
does.
so yeah, so they go, Marlon finds out they're going to the drop off and he's like, the drop off, and calls the seahorse pony boy. He's like, pony boy, you know, for a clownfish she's really not that funny.
I will be honest with you. I like the name Ponyboy. Okay. Like I think I was like, oh, if I ever get a dog, I'm gonna name him Ponyboy.
Have
Like
you
that's
read
how
The
much of.
Outsiders
Have I read The Outsiders?
or watched the
Maybe.
movie or watched the
Definitely
musical?
not watched the movie, but I think I might have read the book, but I was probably like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Yeah,
12,
because that's
12.
Stay Golden, pony boy, stay golden.
I stay golden.
Yeah. But yeah, you would name a dog pony boy?
Well, I said I would, and I got a dog, and did not name him Ponyboy.
No, you name him Gucci.
Baby.
Um, Trio of the kids leave because they're bored, and Nemo's like,
Also,
"I'm gonna
pause.
follow."
Also, for being a protective parent, he literally did not do any research. He did
No,
not do
I
any.
mean, did he just show up at the school for the first time? He didn't have to register his child for school.
Apparently, like I guess not.
Also, Mr. McGray is a neglectful teacher, though. How do you lose your children?
Four of them. Like it'll be one
Four
thing
of
if you
them.
lost one child. Like people make mistakes. Not you should be on probation for that, but
Yeah.
still. But you lose four kids.
Yeah. They go to the drop off, and they're like, you guys made me. They're gonna touch the butt.
You know who said it was?
I almost introduced you as saying, and here's the guy who loves big butts and cannot lie.
No,
A big
you know.
boat? A big boat? We love a big boat. Um,
I
but
love that
yes,
it was Sandy Plankton who said called the butt.
yeah.
It's called
But
the
they're gonna touch the butt. And then Marlin arrives and he's like embarrassing Nemo, and then he's like, "You think you can do these things, Nemo, but you just can't, Nemo." And then Nemo's like, "I hate you," and ooh, that hurt. That hurts.
Did it hurt? Did it hurt? Like, pause. I get why it's supposed to hurt. Like, kids say stuff like that all the time.
Yeah. Well, as a kid, I was definitely like, "Get off his back, Marlin." But like as an adult, I'm like, "No, I get it. The ocean's scary."
Here's my thing. As an adult, I've been like, get off his back.
Both
Mainly
things can be true.
because, like, here's my thing. You gave him to Mr. Ray knowing that he's like a responsible adult that will look over after your kids. Like, it just so happened that he wasn't. But like in general, in
He's too
general, you
busy
should be.
singing about the zones.
But like that's the point of teachers. They like take care of your kids. Like you should have some trust with them. Like you know how embarrassing it is if your parent just came in the middle of your class, like and be like, "Oh, are you safe?" X, Y, Z. Like that's an embarrassing thing to do. Like that's overprotective. Like
Val.
just because Marlon is right does not mean he was valid.
Marlin should have signed up to be a chaperone.
Shout out to be a chaperone. They're always looking for chaperones and the good
Yes.
ones too.
Yeah. I remember
Pause.
my
Marlon will be
dad.
such a bad chaperone. He'll be such a bad chaperone. He won't only look
No,
at Nemo. He would
valid.
not care about those other kids.
No, I remember I was really mean to my dad when he was a chaperone when we went to the beach in first grade. I'm
Oh,
sorry. I'm sorry.
it's
But
okay.
yeah. Yeah, and he says I hate you, and then he's like distracted, and he's like, we'll come back next year, blah blah blah. I really and then this uh, fish with the teeth is gonna be like, "Oh my God, Nemo's swimming at the sea!" And then Nemo's like all the way there, and he touches the boat, and he's like, "Don't you dare!" And he's like, and then he starts swimming back. You come here right now, mister. And then the diver flashes Marlin as they are capturing Nemo, and he's like, "Daddy,
Pause,
Daddy."
pause, pause. When you say flash, and I'm pretty sure everyone who's listening to this podcast has watched the movie. He meant take a picture, not like
Yes. No, he showed him his belly. No, he flashed a picture. He like used flash on a camera, yeah, an underwater camera. And then this is also where we get like the separate because we have the ocean throughout the movie, but there's also like the surface animation, which looks a little different, which I also thought worked really well. Like when we see the fish, uh, when they're on the surface or
yes,
above the water, and it's like, oh, this is really cool, and like
I
the
agree.
yeah. Um, so they take Nemo and Marlin swims after the boat. And like he must have swam for a while. Like, where do you think this movie takes place? Is it like off the coast of Australia? It has to
No,
be somewhere because the sharks are Australian and the guys are diving in Australia, so they have to be like near close-ish. But then like the way that
but the journey takes too long for it to be in Australia.
so like but where are they? Like Fiji? Like the
Maybe in
diver
Indonesia. Like it's
Indonesia?
that's like close-ish to Australia, but still like a distance.
Yeah, because like I know but he's also a little fish. Maybe he takes a while like from the Great Coral Reef and he has to get all the way to
I don't
Sydney.
know. Marlon was hauling tail, Felipe.
But also
Like,
later in the movie, we have the Boston Lobsters talking about the story. So it's like,
you know,
yeah,
maybe it was in Australia. And Marlon just got lost.
yeah. I mean, when you're following Dory, yeah. But yeah. So Marlin gets sad. He sees the mask, and he's like, the mask drops. We see that we don't
Mhm,
find the mask yet, and then Marlin ends up swimming into Dory. Look out! And then Dory tells him she saw her boat. Dory's like taking him to the boat, and then
mhm.
Dory's like, why is this man following me? And she keeps going. He's like, why are you following me? Huh? 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 And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. A boat? I've seen a boat. And she's like, yes, you said that. And he's like, oh, I have short-term memory loss. It runs in my family. At least I think it does. And we find out more about Dory's family. Have you seen Finding Dory or no?
I have seen Finding Dory.
Okay. Yeah, I think I've seen it only once in theaters, but I have seen it. Because we kind of like get the same story, but it's Marlin and Nemo,
Mhm,
and Dory is like kind of on her solo quest. But yeah, so then she turns around and there's Bruce with the teeth. He's like, oh, hello. And Martin's stressing out. He's like, Dory's like, well, hi, a party. And he's like, yeah, it's kind of a party, but you don't want these balloons to pop because they're bombs.
Like it's such a creepy party. Like honestly, like
It's not a
the
party. It's Fish Eaters Anonymous. It's a support group.
okay, but he co-signed it being a party.
Valid.
And,
Okay, yeah.
like
Sorry. Okay, sorry for interrupting.
like listen, and let me tell you something. AA meetings can be parties. Like especially the way this um Fish Anonymous meeting went.
Yes.
They were not following any rules.
No, this is
Not
Fish
a
Eaters Anonymous. They're on step five. And remember,
are
fish
they?
are
Some of them are
friends.
step one. So
No, I mean Bruce had to start back at step one probably, but they were on step five. Fish are friends, not food. And today they are bringing fish to the areas. And he's like, "Oh, fish are friends, not food. Except dolphins. I hate dolphins. Like this sounds think this sound cute. Oi, oi, oi." So yeah,
but dolphins are so pretentious though.
I love dolphins. How dare you?
They're like, and listen, there's nothing wrong with being pretentious, but like, let's not pretend they're not.
Dolphins are just gay sharks.
And you know what? It's okay. Happy Pride Month. Well,
Happy
this coming out in
Pride.
July.
Yeah. But yeah, so Chum ate his fish. So then Marlin gets to be his fish buddy. The little green fish swim away from Anchor. And Bruce is like, "Well,
So
yes."
I would like to say this is why they are failing at Fish Anonymous. They are not holding their members accountable.
No, they
Like,
are not.
like they just let this man eat this fish, and was like, you know what? Let's just give you another fish.
Yeah. They're not holding their members accountable. And then he's like, "Yes, the little Sheila in the front." And Dory's like, "Well, I don't think I've ever had a fish." And they're like, "Good job, good job." Oh, and then they're like, "Marlin, what's going on with you? And you're a clownfish. Tell us a joke." And he starts the Mollusk joke again. He sees the mask and he's like, uh, he starts talking about, "No, my son Nemo got taken." And then Bruce is like, "There is a father looking for his boy. I never knew my father." And then the mask gets wrestled by Dory and Marlin because Dory's like, "Let me see it," and then it whacks her in the nose. She starts bleeding, and then
Also,
Bruce is
also, can
go
we
ahead.
talk about like why Marlon? Like, I got a lot of issues with Marlon this movie, mainly because he's like so wound up. And like, listen, I get it. Your child is gone, but this is just who Marlon is. Like, Dory was like, hey, maybe these people that we met that have been kind to us so far can read. Let's see if they can do it. And Marlon is like just so aggro. No, like, ask for help. You cannot read, sir. Like, what are we doing? What was your plan? Like, tell me, Felipe.
He didn't have a plan. He was just going on vibes.
And his vibes was terrible. His vibes led him to wrestle against a goggle against this lady that's been doing nothing but help him.
Yeah.
And then like
Well, she did
because
yell at him a couple minutes earlier
for what?
for following her.
Yeah, but like we are past that. We are not with sharks. This is your
Oh,
best friend.
this is your best friend.
Listen.
Um, but yeah, so she starts bleeding, and then his eyes go black, and that's gonna come back in a future Pixar movie that you haven't seen. So we'll hold that accountable when the eyes go
Ooh,
black when a shark's about to attack. Um,
intriguing.
Dory bleeds, and then Bruce is like, "I'm having fish tonight," and then the two others are all intervention. They're swimming away, and then they get stuck, and then Bruce is slamming his head, and then Dory's like, "Hey, that word kind of looks like escape. It's escape." And wait, you can read? And he's like, "Yeah, I can read." And he's like, "Grab the mask," and the mask is in Bruce's teeth at one point, and Dory hits, "Okay, let's grab the mask," and she pops the bomb and grabs the mask, and they swim away, and then the sharks are like, "Swim away," and there's an explosion, and then the pelicans in the water judge the other.
Well, because it looked like a fart.
Nice.
Like not
Viola.
Felipe. If we're ever in a pool, and you fart next to me, I will be judging you.
I mean, you have gone on record multiple times about peeing in pools.
Yes. If I don't like paying in fools, what do you make you think I'll be okay with a fart?
That story. Um, but yeah, so then we see what happened to Nemo. Nemo's in the tank. He meets Bubbles, Peach, Gurgle, Jacques, Bloat, and Deb. We find
And
out
Flo.
that, and well, yes, we'll meet Flo in a moment. They ask what pet store he's from. I'm from Bob's Pet Store. Jacques cleans Nemo because he's from the ocean. The ocean! He needs to be decontaminated. Hi, this is Deb. You can always talk to me or my auntie or my sister Flo. And these fish are obsessed with dental work. They are so excited by this root canal. I mean, it's entertainment for them, I guess.
Like that's the like you got two options. You can watch the kids read or you can watch dentistry work.
It
Honestly, I prefer to watch dentistry work.
Valid, and they like know everything. But Nigel, who lives on the bay in the
What are we
harbor,
doing?
he
What are
comes
we
up and he's
doing?
like, "What are we doing today? Are we doing a root canal?" And he's like, "Root canal? Oh, nice." And he's like, "Oh, hello. Sorry if I ever pecked at you. Birds gotta eat, fish gotta swim, or whatever." Uh, Meets Nemo, and then the dentist shoos the bird away. The Darla picture falls down, shatters. And they're
Hmm.
like, "Oh, this is gonna be your owner." And then she's like, "Look at the bag," and the fish is belly up. And Nemo's like, "No!" And he gets stressed out. He falls backwards into a tube, gets sucked into it, and then Gil's like, uh, shows up, and he's like, "You gotta wiggle, alternate your wiggles." And then he's like, "I have a bad fin." He's like, "That never stopped me." And he
Hmm.
helps Nemo do it, and Nemo becomes independent in this moment, and he can do cool things. And Gil's like, "I'm from the ocean too." And we have a little moment with Peach and Gil where it's like, "Yeah, well, we have our new friend." That's our intro of the. Did you have a favorite of the fishes when you were a kid? I feel like you were a bloat kid.
I told you I had a Gil toy.
A gill toy, yes. Yes.
Like yeah, I think Gil. I think I also had a. I liked Peach as well.
I liked I didn't realize Peach was
Probably
a
Deb.
girl until like I was an adult.
Peach is a girl?
I think so.
What? Since
It's
when?
Alice and Janney, so I assume it's a girl.
Voices men all the time.
True, but I don't know.
That's why Felipe. When I tell you, I never. Well, Peach is a girl. You
I
know
think
what?
my favorites were Bubbles. I liked Deb and Flo. I liked Bloat. Um
I like the women. I think the women were my favorite. The
I
women and
like
Gil.
Jacques sometimes. Would
Okay.
we? Yeah. So they Marlin and Dory sleep in the mask, and then they structure falls that they're on, and the mask falls as well, sinks into the depths of the ocean, and it's too
Yes.
dark, and Marlin's like, "But we can't go," and then Dory's like, "Let's just keep swimming, swimming, swimming," and then there's AJ's favorite line, "Are you my conscience?" And then I thought of Buzz in Toy Story 4. Are you under my conscience? They see a light and like, ooh, pretty light. And Marlin's like, is this what happiness feels like? Um, he's like, that's a big deal for me. And then there's the attack because they find out it's an anglerfish, and then Marlin finds the mask, and then he has to distract the anglerfish while Dory has to read, and she's like P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney, and SW for New South Wales. And that address lives rent free in my mind.
Can I push back on something you said?
What?
You said you could cut this scene. I remember as a kid, this was my favorite scene of the movie. I love this scene.
You love this scene. How
I
so?
love this scene. It was so much fun. Like Marlin versus the anglerfish going back and forth while Dory's over here just trying to read it. I just was all in on the action sequence.
I didn't say you could cut the scene. I said if you had to cut scenes, it would be this one or the whale. Not the whale internal stuff, but like the looking for the whale, the looking at the specs. I feel like there were like those are the movie moments where I'm like, okay, these are like the least interesting parts of the movie. But I mean, AJ's telling me I'm
Like,
wrong.
like, let me tell you, when I was a kid, when that anglerfish ate his light and then lit it up, and Marlin was in his belly, I found that hilarious.
Yes, AJ was tickled.
I was so tickled, Felipe.
So yeah, Dory reads it, and then they like trap him in the mask with I'm like, that poor fish. I mean, he was just minding his business, and these two menaces destroyed his life. He's trapped there forever,
He
right?
was trying to kill him.
He was trying to kill them. They did nothing in terms of it, but like Homeboy was just living his life like 5 minutes beforehand, and then now he's still trapped to that fish to this day. He probably died at that fish.
Listen, let me tell you something.
At
None
that
of this would have happened if he just minded his business.
I mean, points were made. But no eating here tonight. Oh, whoo,
Hey.
eating here tonight. Oh, oh, no eating here tonight. I'm on a diet. Dory's so silly.
So silly, so
Um,
silly.
Dory remembers. And then we go to Nemo sleeping, and Jacques wakes him up, follows him for the initiation. Shark bait. Ooh, ha, ha. I loved this scene as a kid. I was like, so, and then this is the first time I actually wrote the
That
name of
this
it
scene
down.
scared me. This
It's just frat hazing.
it was so scary, Felipe,
Yeah.
as a child.
You're afraid of Mount Wanahakalugi?
Bas-
Did you know that was the name of the mountain?
Not until I watched last night.
I was like, that's so funny. Wanahakalugi.
I was like,
Like,
this
I
is
want to know
fun.
what kind of drugs these other writers were on.
And honestly, a lot of good ones.
Yeah. Um, the Ring of Fire, the Ring of Fire. Turn on the Ring of Fire, the Ring of Fire. Then Bubbles, Bubbles, Bubbles. He's just a boy. And then
You know what? It might have been when Jacques started screaming. I was like, oh my God, this is not okay.
yeah,
This is
and then
terrifying.
but Nemo does it so chill. He's like, boop. Uh,
Because it's just bubble sleep.
yeah,
Like he
Bubbles.
wasn't doing anything hard. He was
Uh,
just swimming forward 2 inches.
Listen, we love it. So yeah, it's gonna. They have 5 days because Darla's in 5 days. The escape plan. Nemo is gonna jam the gears. They're gonna get the fish tank filthy.
Mm,
Plastic bags. They get scooped up. They cross the street, fall into the harbor,
mm.
and that's their plan. Which I'm like, that's crazy. You want toys to cross the street, now you want fish to cross the street?
Listen, listen, listen. We just got to get home. That's all they want to do.
Valid. I mean, for Gil, that is home. Everyone else, they came from pet store.
And honestly, they're not going to survive the ocean. No offense.
Yeah. Well, also, like, I want to know. I mean, maybe we do find out what happens to them in Finding Dory, but like, I want to know, like, are they still in the bags? Like,
Well,
how did they get out of the bag at the end of the movie? Like, because they're
I don't
just
think.
floating there.
I
Like,
just assumed my entire life they didn't.
they're just in the bag.
Basically,
Gurgle's not gonna like swimming in his own filth.
no. Gurgles. None of them are going to like the. Let me tell. Wait, not a damn one of them is going to like the ocean. They're going to miss that fish tank. like, like they are
No,
not
Gil's
ready for that.
happy.
No, Gil has been too domesticated. Gil don't know what it's like out there. It's rough out there, Felipe.
Deb's gonna miss Flo.
Deb is never going to see her sister again.
Speaking of sisters, we get the school of fish.
Yes.
Why are they so mean to Marlin? Leave him alone. Like, this man is just asking for directions.
They got pause. Marlon is being rude to them. Like yes, yes, yes,
No, no,
Felipe.
no. Marlin went up
Yes,
to them
Felipe.
first and asked for directions, and they were ignoring him.
As is their right. They do not need to help out. It
Are
would
you
be
just
nice to help
feeling,
out,
are you like
but
Rex? You have guilt because you gave some lady directions a few years ago and she's still lost?
you
Great, now
know,
I have guilt.
fair enough. You bring up a point. I will shut up.
Yeah. No, they had no business being so mean to Marlin off the jump. Granted, then when Marlin was being rude to Dory, they came in with a bad attitude. I'm sorry. Marlin just went up to them and said, like, hey, can you direct me to Sydney? Hey, direct me. And then they're ignoring him, so Marlin's like, ah, whatever. So then he's like, let's split up, Dory. And Dory's like, no. Like she gets upset. And the school
Mhm.
of fish come back. And they're like, "Oh, Dory, how can we cheer you up? Do you want to do impressions?" And then he's like, Marlin's revealing the answer. He's like, "Lobster." He's like, "Heard that?
Mhm.
What?" And then he's like, "What is this?" And she's like, "Oh, oh, a clam. Close enough." And
Close enough.
then they make fun of Marlin. Meow, 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 meow. And at this point, we should mention this is John Ratzenberger's fifth of five Pixar movies.
Ah,
Um,
fair enough. Fair enough.
it's Ham. It's P.T. Flea. It's Ham again. It's the Abominable Snowman, and it's the Moonfish.
Listen, 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 listen,
He
listen.
just besides Ham, I don't think AJ likes any of the characters he voices.
He- not really.
No, his favorite is P.T. Flea though.
Felipe, you think you're being funny.
You know, they thought they were being funny too, but they weren't. Uh, but Marlin's a clownfish. And
Yes.
then Dory does get help. You know, Dory does. She's a good friend. I have a
Yes.
feeling you're gonna give her some points later today.
We'll see.
We'll see. And then she's like, "Yeah, we're trying to go to Sydney," and they're like, "Oh, great! You got to go to the East Australian Current. You go about what 3 leagues?" And I thought like the nautical terms in this movie were kind of funny.
Hmm.
3 leagues, and then you get off, and you'll be right there. They tell Dory to swim through the trench, not over it. Once Marlin leaves, through it, not over it. And
Hmm.
then she's following Marlin, and Marlin is like, "You see the sketchy trench that has death written all over it. We're going over it." And he's like, "No, something tells me we should go through it." He's like, "No, we're not doing that." And then they go up, and Dory meets Squishy. This shall be my Squishy, and you shall be mine. And
I
she
love
plays Squishy.
Swishy.
He's like, eh. Well, Squishy doesn't love her back.
Yes, Squishy does. It's just Squishy's nature to sting.
Squishy Sting Dory. Duh, I remember one of the first Facebook pages I joined was like a page called like I should call you Squishy and you should be mine, and it was a picture of Dory and Squishy. It was like, and I liked that Facebook page, I guess. So like I think I remember like when I was in like seventh grade liking things on Facebook. I was like, oh, I love Finding Nemo. Let me click like on this.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Um, but yeah, so you love Squishy.
Squishy's just a baby squid. Like Squishy doesn't know any better. Like you don't blame babies for the things they do. Well, you do blame babies, but you give them pass.
I don't know. I blame my brother when he bit my hair and yanked it when he was a baby.
And babies don't know better. They don't. Like
Mm,
there was a bad thing to do. That's when your parents should have been like, "Hey, don't do that. Stop that." And
no,
that's how you learn.
I feel like this baby didn't respect Dory. This baby jellyfish.
This baby jellyfish has did more for Dory than the other jellyfishes.
No, they like scar Dory permanently.
Exactly.
But yeah, so they start. Jory's like boing, boing, boing,
And
and
pause. I'll be
honestly,
honest. No,
looks
you
a
go
lot of
first.
fun. Looks a lot of fun to jump on a jellyfish.
This one I want you to go first. I get why they stunk her. That would have been so annoying. That would have been so annoying.
Boing, boing,
Why are you
boing.
jumping on me? Lady, stop. Lady, stop.
Lady, stop. But then they're like, "Oh, the tops don't sting."
Mm,
Well, because then she's like, "Why didn't it sting you?" And he's like, "I live in an anemone. I'm used to this stuff."
mm.
But okay, we race to we're gonna play a game. And then we see Marlin having fun while they're racing, and he's like, "Eat my bubbles!" Um,
Woo!
and he wins, and then he's like, "Oh, where's Dory?" And then Dory's stuck, so then he has to go back, and he's like, Dory, where are we going? Where are we going? Get her to talk. Fee Sherman 42, and he's like, yeah! And he like goes through getting stung, and they like fall, and we see like a shell shadow.
Yes.
But that's it. And then they pass out. Um, we go back to Nemo. There's a lot of cross-cutting in this film, which I
Yes.
think this might be the first. No, Toy Story 2 had a lot of cross-cutting as well with the
Yeah.
Woody and the Buzz stuff, but like for the most part, like every other of the ones that we've talked about so far are kind of very like sequential with like maybe a scene out of place, like Water
Yeah.
Noose and Randall and Fungus, or the grasshoppers at the Mexican margarita bar. Um,
But yeah, mostly they like
yeah.
go in order. Follow
Um,
one character.
Nemo sad. Someone call my dad. I get it too. I miss my dad sometimes too. Um,
Was Nemo sad at this point?
yeah, he
Did I
was
make
really
that up?
sad. He was sad
What did he do?
because he's like, you miss your dad, shark bait, and Gil's like, yeah, and then he tells about how he like fell on a set of dentist tools and he got like chopped up a little bit when he was trying to escape because he was going for the drain, and this is where he gets set up. All drains lead to the ocean. During
Mm.
his first escape. Um, And Nemo, this is also then when we try the Nemo first attempt with the pebble. So he scoops up a little pebble, goes into the little thing, puts the pebble in the thing, and he's trying to swim out, but the pebble wasn't secure enough and gets unlodged, and he starts sliding back, and they grab a piece of kelp, and he gets rescued. Thank God, because Nemo deserves to be saved. And then Gil apologizes profusely, and he's like, they're done doing that. It was too much of a close call.
They should
Um,
have never did that in the first place. That like honestly, they should have been like bad job on Yugo. Like Gil should have got more scolding to do. Like he literally put that kid's life in danger. Like
yeah.
they are lucky that reef that he got was long enough. Cause like anything shorter, he would have been dead.
They also could have pushed it in a little further, honestly. If I'm being real, they had a lot sticking out of the tube. I was like, you can just like slide that up just a touch more to help
I'm
your
just
friend.
I'm just saying they put a child's life in
No,
danger
no,
when they
they
didn't
shouldn't have
need
that.
to.
Yeah, no, but like, plot.
Plot.
Um, so I really like this scene. A, because it's a lot of fun. I loved Squirt as a kid. Like
Yeah, this is
I
also
I
my
was like a
favorite
Nemo
scenes.
who wanted to be a Squirt, if that makes sense.
You were a Nemo who wanted to be a squirt.
I'm a Woody who wants to be a Buzz. I'm a Nemo who wants to be a Squirt.
You don't want to be a squirt.
You're a Squirt. You're
You don't
Squirt.
want to be a
I'm
squirt.
Nemo.
I am not a squirt.
Who
You
are
do not want to
you?
be a
Are
squirt.
you a Dory or a Marlin? I'm a Marlin. Oh my
I'm a
God.
Dory.
You're a Dory.
I was like, I sadly,
I
like
have too
so
much
sad.
memory. I can't be Dory.
I have too little.
Yeah.
Like I cannot be Marlon.
But I like this scene because it's also like the dichotomy of dad types. Like we have Crush, who's like very laid back. We even see the sequence with like Squirt falling out the EAC, and he's like,
You know, that's funny that you want to be squirt. I want it to be Crush.
"You want to be Crush?
I wanted it to be Crush so bad.
Crush." Speaking of being on the good drugs, like, um, But yeah, so there's like such a relaxed vibe. Marlon wakes up. He's like, "We're on the AAC, dude. Noggin. Um, when I see you next, are we gonna noggin?
Uh, no,
No,
no. I just saw you do that. I refuse to be part of this. No offense to you, Felipe.
you saw
I'm
me
just
outside.
no. I just saw you like, and I said, oh no, 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 no,
No.
no, 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 no. I'm not trying to get a concussion. I'm not trying to
How many concussions do you think Crush has?
at least five. Yeah.
Shaka, bro.
Listen.
Um, but yeah, so then he sees they're riding the AAC. Dory plays hide and seek with the turtle kids. There's such a relaxed vibe. Squirt falls out the AAC, the current, and then Marlin's stressing out. He's like, "What are you gonna do?" And he's like, "Jelly man, you never really know." But let's see what Squirt does with this adversity, Jelly
You
Man.
know?
And then it's like, and then Marlin's like, "But how do you know if they're ready?" And then this is the quote that he says: "You never really know, but when they know, you know. You know." And honestly, I think this is the better of the no quotes, because the other one is they don't know that we know from Friends or whatever it is. And I'm like, this is I think is better. I don't know.
I've never seen Friends,
You've
so
never seen Friends?
no.
Wow. At least you've seen Finding Nemo. I love
I
Finding
made the
Nemo.
right choice in life.
Um, and then they got a turtle pile on Marlin.
Woo!
Um, remember pig pile with ham on the truck?
Yes.
Yes. Uh,
Big bio.
Marlon tells this whole story about like what's been going on with his life in what the
Hmm.
last 2 days. Uh, so this is gonna be where he tells the whole story, and then it starts a gossip train, which AJ loves.
I love
That's
a
his
toxic
favorite
gossip
part.
game.
He loves that when it's happening on Big Brother, when the gossip train gets good on the live feeds. Um, so we get Marlin is telling the turtles. The turtles tell the silverfish. Then we get to the Boston lobsters because they're talking about how wicked it is.
Hmm.
It's wicked fire. Then the swordfish, the dolphins. So this is going around the entire ocean. The dolphins, the seagulls, and then the pelicans. And it gets to Nigel. And then there's this crab who is there and he does and jumps off. Wrote crab karate. And then Nigel hears the story. He's like, he flies to Nemo. Nemo's sad. Gil apologizes for putting him in harm's way. And then Nigel smashes the window. The dentist is like, oi, oi, what was that? And then he looks and he's like, ah, oh, these stupid kids. Um, but when Nigel smashes the window, he's like, what was that? And he pulls the tooth out. And he's like, oh, that's a way to get a tooth extracted. At least it was the right one. And I was like, Jesus.
Oh my goodness gracious, that would scare me. That
Did
would
you
be
know
so
his name was
terrifying.
Philip?
Yes.
I did not know that until I was doing research. I was like, wait, who's Philip? And I was like, oh, P. Sherman.
He said his name in the film.
I've seen this film so many times, I never got that. I know his assistant's name, Barbara.
Yeah, he does scream Barbara. He does.
Barbara, what am I doing tomorrow? I don't know why I was Southern all of a sudden. Um,
He's
but
Australian.
he's Australian. Nigel tells Nemo that Marlin's took on 3 shocks. He tells the whole story, and Nemo's inspired. He's so inspired by his dad that he's like, "Let me take another swing at this pebble." And he goes, and the fish are like, Shh, "Nemo, Nemo, Nemo!" And he's like, "What?" And he pops up behind them. He's like, "I did it.
He did it. He did it.
We did it. We did it." Do the Woody dance. This is a moment where, to quote Navi, we missed out on the process because we didn't see Nemo doing that. But we saw it the first time, so we know what he does. But and
we,
he's
we
like,
we know what he does.
yeah,
I'm very skeptical of the success rate, but we gotta plot on.
yeah. The tank is gonna get filthy, nasty, like the Big Brother house.
Ugh.
Um, the exit buddy instructions from Square. Remember, rip it, roll it, and punch it. And then Marlon's like, "You're really cute, but I don't understand what you're saying. Can you start again?" He's like, Crush is like, "No time to go, Jelly Man, let's go." And they had so much fun, and I wanted to ride the EAC.
It would be so much fun.
Like, I love the pool.
Like the pool.
I mean, I love water slides. I love ocean. I love being in the water.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
Like, he's just like, the pool. Don't be doing nasty things in the pool. Don't be Fabio from Survivor Nicaragua.
Please don't, please don't. Other people gotta be in that pool.
You know what's nasty? If this really is close to Australia, there's a lot of Survivor CBS nastiness in the ocean that Marlin is swimming in.
Yes, there is, but you cannot control everybody, even though you can discourage it as much as you want.
I'm gonna tell them if I'm ever on the show, y'all go take care of that in the bushes. Let's leave the fishes alone.
You know what? I think that's fair.
I don't think it
Honestly,
will stop
Felipe,
anything.
I never wanted to visualize that, and now that I have, I'm very upset with you.
You're
Um,
upset with me?
I am
You're the
upset
one
with
who
you.
brought up the pool.
You brought it up. You con-
You were the one who brought up the bubble and what that indicates.
the- so people can understand the joke. I didn't want to dive deep into it.
Remember, rip it, roll it, and punch it. But so Marlin yells, "Hey, Crash, I forgot to ask. How old are you?" Which you should never ask a turtle at. No, I'm kidding. But he says, "I'm 150, dude. It's still young." 150. I gotta remember that.
No, no, no,
150.
no, question, Felipe. Never mind.
You were gonna ask is Crush still alive?
No, that's not what I was going to ask. I was like, is 150 still young? Or is this like, I'm young at heart from Crush?
I don't know. Listen, he's seen a lot.
He has seen a lot. He's
The
150.
ocean's gotten nasty, nastier and nastier and more polluted since he's been alive,
Ah, that's sad.
right?
Yeah.
I feel like I mean, they probably do this at Epcot, but like more conservation stuff with the ocean and Nemo and like more like learning aids. They could probably like do some stuff with that, like eco-friendly conservation.
See, I
Uh,
feel like there was like a good, you can tell me I'm incorrect. There's like a good 10 years where I feel like we as a society was like, we care about the ocean and stuff like that, and we care about the planet. And I feel like that 10 years have come and gone.
yeah, because everybody's using AI, and they're like, well, let's just like heat up the planet and let's let it explode faster, I guess. Um, but I feel like I still care about the ocean, but I feel like as society, there are so many bad things going on right now that like people are like, well, the ocean is on the back burner compared to like human rights. Like fish's rights come after, but you know, fish are friends, not food.
Mhm.
So ironic coming from me because my favorite food is sushi, but. I'm so
You could
sorry.
be, you say sorry every time you take a bite. I'm like, I apologize, but your dishes.
Granted, there were no salmon in this movie. There were no tuna, right?
Love salmon. Ooh.
Oh, salmon. So yeah, AJ and I need to go to step five again.
Listen, I never agreed.
Yeah. I mean,
I
neither
don't,
did Dory, but she's doing really good on the steps.
she's doing so great.
Pause. But if it's like this teetotaler that shows up, if I'm like in AA, theoretically using the AA metaphor, if I have an issue and I'm going to these meetings because I am struggling with this substance or vice, and this homegirl who has never had a drink in her life is there bragging about how this is so easy for her, like, how messed up is that? I'm sorry. This movie's cracked. I love it. And then she goes back to Fish Eaters Anonymous at the end of the movie, and
She's
she's
doing
like,
it. They love her.
yeah. I mean, she's probably just there for like the vibes. Like there's like we need a friend, but maybe like they're like, "Oh, this is a nice fish. Let's have this fish in our life." And maybe we won't want to eat her and her friends.
Like, listen, let me tell you something. Dory's playing a dangerous game.
Dory
Dory,
Dory lives life on the edge.
pause. Like that. If we want to go on your alcoholic anonymous synonym or analogy, whatever it was, that's like a beer bottle going to Alcoholics Anonymous. Like that's what that's the equivalent of. It's just temptation. Like it's not like it's even worse.
Temptation, all I ever wanted. Speaking of the Den of Temptation, I told you who I saw yesterday, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. We love them. So yeah, speaking of swimming into foggy water, Dory plays this game. She plays I Spy with My Little Eye, basically. I see something. I'm thinking of something orange and small. It's me. And let me just guess. The next one, it's gonna be me again. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're so good at this." Merlin. I forgot to mention just one more thing about Crush. Because they're talking about like parenthood and like, yeah, all these turtles, they come out to sea when they're hatched and they find us and cuckoo cuckoo. And Marlin's like, wow, that's so like wild. And like at this point, we're kind of like getting into Marlin's growth arc of the movie. Like we've laid some groundwork for it, but like between Crush, between the whale sequence, like we are really gonna like explore the fear versus joy, the pessimism versus optimism, the like
Hmm.
losing the grip on control that all parents have to experience of like letting their kids be independent and taking risks and just trusting that things are gonna work out. Which like granted, some of these things that Dory has him trusting him to do, wild. Like, why are you going inside of the whale's throat? But it works out.
Here's my thing, right? Two things. first, I thought you were gonna bring up the fact that like Crush calls him his offspring, and I was like, that's a wild thing to call your kids. Like they technically are your offsprings, but like,
Jellyman, Offspring, Offspring,
I
Jellyman.
was like, who calls your child offspring? Especially to their face. No offense, that just sounds like a diss to them. Like
Hmm.
I didn't want you. You're just my offspring.
Yeah.
I might be looking deep into this, but also like Dory's like right to trust a lot of these people. And I'm not saying it's wrong to like have some distrust of people. Like there are bad people out there. Um, but like maybe because I moved through life trusting people first and then being betrayed and being shot. That
Yeah.
happens.
But also, like, Dory's out here on a whim and a prayer half the time. She's just like, I don't know what's gonna happen. Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. But here's my thing, especially with the whale scene, right? If the whale wanted to eat Marlin and Dory, he would have ate them already. Like he
Yeah.
wouldn't just be letting them chill in his mouth. He would have
Yeah.
swallowed. He would have, and they would have could do nothing about it,
Hmm.
Felipe. So like
Valid.
I would trust the whale.
Valid. Yeah, so they see this whale and they're like, "Oh, I can speak whale. We should ask for directions." And then Dory says, Marlon says, "We're not doing that." And then Dory's like, "What is it with men and asking for directions?" And he's like, "We're not doing the
Can
gender thing right now."
Pause. Can we talk about like how Marlon was wilding though? He was
Yeah.
like I've seen this spec before. That means we're not going in the right direction. And then he just starts like spinning around in so many different directions. And I'm like, what you're doing is so unhelpful. Like
Yeah.
you do not know what north, west, south, east is, and you just like running around thinking like you know best. It's
They
like so
should have
dumb.
gone to the surface and looked because they were probably in the same spot for or like nearby. I don't know. Like,
Probably.
yeah. But
Like literally Dory was right. Just ask for help. Like, cause let me tell you something. Her asking for help is a lot better than Marlon's plan, which was like just make a turn, like turn 72 degrees and hope it's the right direction.
mhm. Yeah, no, you're making points. But so Marlon
I
lets
always make
Dory
points.
throughout these next to Marlon's credit, he does let Dory take lead at certain points throughout this last section of the movie. He's like, Dory, take the lead, because he sees that he hurt her with the jellies. His song bingo, Nemo, Nemo. And then the whale, Dory's like, we're gonna be whale food. And Dory's like, no, we're not gonna be whale food. We're like krill. Oh, look, krill. Run away! And then they get swallowed with the krill. The tank is filthy. The dentist tells Barbara to clear the schedule for tomorrow morning. Nemo's excited. We're going to get away. And then we go back to the whale. The whale is swimming. Marlin rams into his mouth multiple times, like the bristles. He's like, I need to find my son. And then he falls to the ground on the tongue. And then we get the Nemo egg theme again from Thomas Newman. And Dory goes down and like swims. It's like, what's going on? He's like, I'm just sad. And we Marlin promised he'd never let Nemo get hurt. And Dory's basically like, well, that's weird because like if you never let life happen to him, anything happen to him, well then nothing would ever happen to him. And this is kind of where then the water starts sinking down, and they're going to the back of the throat. And Marlin's like, it's half empty, and then Dory's like, looks more like half full to me. Um, and so this is kind of like I love these two together. Like we talked about like how Woody and Buzz were like dichotomies of like the Western, the space, and like
Hmm.
how that is a nice balance. But this is just like the way they view life and how like a trauma like they both experienced trauma technically with Dory like being separated from her parents, which
Hmm.
you find out on Finding Dory. And I don't even know how much they like explored Dory's backstory in the origin scripts of this first film, but I really love that it's like kind of putting these two perspectives on the world together and like just making them friends through the events of this movie just because Dory's a good person or good fish.
She is a good fish, good
Um,
person. Whatever. She
yeah.
she like tries her best. Like I think that's the best thing about the way she's like she's such a good faith person.
Yeah.
Like she like you never have to question her intentions. Like she's like genuinely just here to help like this stranger. She don't even know Marlon. She don't know
Right?
Marlon
She
from
met him
Jelly.
like a couple days ago and all
Like
because they
literally.
whacked into each other.
And she's like, I will travel the world with you so that you can find your
Yeah.
son.
It's a great big blue world. Um, and then the whale says to Dory, he says we should go back to the throat or he wants a root beer float. And I'm like, I mean, why not both?
You know? If you have one.
Yeah. Um, but then Marlin's hanging off the tongue and Dory's like, oh, he says fall down. And then Dory drops and then Marlin scoops her up and he's like, let go. And he's like, you say that you can do these things, Nemo, but you just can't, Nemo. And then he realizes he's talking to Dory. So then he's like, I'll trust you. And he lets go. and they go up the blowhole. Woo! We did it! We did it! No eating here tonight. That's a different scene.
Interesting.
But yeah, so they're so happy, and he says, "Thank you." Can you speak whale, AJ?
No, I can't. I've been trying to learn for like a few years now.
They
I
don't
just
have
can't
that
get
on
the dialect.
Duolingo.
It's so hard,
They need to add that on Duolingo.
really.
Um, So then the next scene we see, which is a gif I love. Today's the day. The sun is shining. The tank is clean. The tank is clean. Oh no. The Aquascon 3 2003 will scan us every 5 minutes. What's scanning? And then Gurgle's freaked out by the scanner. And Nemo gets scooped, and they all tell him to swim down because he's in the net, which helps them. And we'll see that later. And then Nemo gets scooped out in a plastic bag. He tries to escape, and then the dentist puts him in the box. And they're stressing out because Darla arrives.
Darla.
Um, then Marlin and Dory get eaten by Gerald, and Marlin's like, "I didn't come this far to be breakfast," and then he like lays into the throat, and then Gerald's
Mhm.
choking, and then Nigel's like, "Oh, all right, someone should go help him." Well, don't everybody fly off at once, like, and he goes to help him.
I thought to go help Gerald.
He does the Heimlich, uh, he does the Heimlich on not the caterpillar, the actual maneuver on Gerald, and then the
Mm.
fishes fall out. And he's like, I have to find my son. And then I just like, wait, I know your son. And then the seagulls see them. And he's like, don't move a muscle. He's like, just hop in my mouth. And he's like, yeah, sure, you want to do that. And he's like, no, I know your son. He has a gimpy fin. And he's like, that's Nemo. And he jumps up and all the mine. And Nigel scoops them up and he's like flying. And he does this incredible maneuver through a sailboat.
Can I ask you a question? Am I the only person who did not think they were saying mine for most of my life?
What did you think they were saying?
Mike.
Like Wazowski?
Yeah, I was like Mike.
I thought they were saying just not
Mm.
mine, but they
No,
were
I
saying
did not say
mine,
mine.
mine. Again, Feathers
Mine.
McGraw did nothing wrong. Um, then, yeah, so Darla's singing. She's like, I'm a piranha. Nah. And then she taps the tank. Boom, and she's a menace, right?
No,
AJ disagrees.
I disagree hardly. I
Uh,
disagree so strongly.
well, when she's shaking the fish, I'm
Like
like, how dare you?
I was gonna save my Dorothy for the when we talk about villains.
Okay, we can save it then. But Nemo pretends to be belly up, and he's like, "Wake up, fishy! Wake up!" Shaking. That's so mean. Like you're gonna make the fish go belly up like the other one, Charlie. What was his name? Um, then
Chuckles.
Chuckles. Oh, Chuckles the clown also is gonna come back later in Toy Story 3.
Oh.
Chuckles. But yeah, Marlin's sad because he sees Nemo belly up, and then he's like, "Go in, Nigel." He's like, Nigel's like, "I can't." And he's like, "Oh yes, you can." And then he like pulls his tongue, and they go flying around the room. And I love my favorite part of this is seeing it from the kid in the waiting room, and then all the people who look and they're like doing crazy things, and he's like, "Oh, that's gonna happen to my teeth." Um, and then Darla's shaking the bag. Gil
Mhm.
gets flung by Mount Wanahakalugi. And Marlin sees Nemo upside down, dead, quote unquote. And then he gets really sad. And then they fly off. And then Gil flings Nemo into the spit tube. And then he goes down the drains, all drains into the ocean. Darla says, "Fishy!" And she gets hit with the backwash. But yeah, this is chaos, and
Chaos.
uh, Nigel drops Marlin and Dory off at the harbor, and he's like, "I'm really sorry." And then Marlin thanks Dory for her help, and she's like, "Wait, please don't leave. When I'm with you, I remember. Like, see, P. Sherman, see." And he's like, "I don't want to forget." And Marlin says, "But I do."
So sad.
I'm sorry, Dory, but I do. And then he passes the crab, and then Nemo pops up like seconds later.
Seconds.
And then he's like, "Dad, Daddy!" And then he goes looking, and then he sees Dory, who's lost and swimming around.
Hmm.
And she's like, I'm looking for something." He's like, "Hey, I'm looking for my dad." And she's like, "Oh, I'm looking for someone too." He's like, "We can look together." And she's like, "I'm Nemo." And she's like, "Nemo? Well, that's a nice name. They dad, dad. Wait, are we looking for my dad or your dad? My dad. And then Dory passes by a sign that says Sydney, and then she's like, Sydney, Sydney. And then she has like a flashback, like, P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. And then it's like, Nemo, you're Nemo, you're Nemo. It's like she's like flipping out. She's so happy. Flipping
Yes.
out. That's funny. And then yeah, I came the whole ocean with your dad. I know your dad, Marlin. And then she asked the crab if they've seen a clownfish, and he's like, yeah. What is it? What do you want me to do? And he's like, you're gonna have to get me out of it. And then she was like, huh. And then she puts the crab up, and he was like, "Fine, fine, you'll get it out." He went to the fishing bay, the fishing grounds, um, and they reunite. He's like, "Dad," and Marlin's like, "Wait, am I hearing things, or is that actually Nemo?" And then he turns around, and it's Nemo. They
That's
hug.
Nemo.
It's so beautiful.
It's so
Um,
sweet.
and unfortunately, then all the other fish say, "Swim away, swim away." What are these kind of fish?
Don't know. Couldn't tell you. Cod? Question mark.
Cod? Maybe. Okay, let me look it up. Uh,
Could not tell you.
uh the fish, the blue whale, blah blah blah. Grouper fish.
A grouper fish.
Finned fish in the family Epinephelaidae. Perciformers.
No clue.
Groupers, I guess. Okay. And they swim in, they are all caught in a net, as is Dory. And Nemo's like, we gotta help her. And Marlin's like, get out of there, Nemo. And Nemo's like, tell all the fish to swim down. You can trust me. And Marlin's like, I can do this. And Marlin's like, okay, I'll trust you.
Mhm.
You heard my son, swim down, swim down. And then Nemo and Dory are telling all the fish to swim down. They start doing it, but then Nemo and Dory are at the top. And then Marlin says, just keep swimming down, swim down, swim down. And then it's starting to work. And then Dory's like, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. What do? We swim. And then it works, it breaks, they're free. And this is like stormy waters at this point. Like most of the movie, the ocean's been like nice and sunny and light. And this is like stormy waters outside. Even on the fishing,
Is it?
it's like cloudy and gloomy.
Okay. I'll take your word
Okay,
for it.
maybe not. I don't know.
This
It looks darker and gloomy. Like even when they're fishing, it's like I don't know.
entire
I
film is dark. Well, like 80% of the film is dark.
I feel like, but like outside when they're like usually when we see the outside, it's nighttime or daytime, but it's like bright and nice, and I feel like the weather outside is murky and
Maybe I
stormy.
just watched the film because majority of the film I was like there was like some moments where it was bright, but like the at least the saturation of the colors were like
Valid.
dark.
Maybe we're both wrong.
You know,
It happens.
that'll be
Uh,
new.
yeah. Dory gets free, and then Nemo's laying down under the net, and like you gotta imagine, these people are emotionally and physically spent. Like these fishes are tired. So Nemo's
Like
like, I just want to lay down for a moment, please. Let me lay down on the ocean bed. Um,
I always asked in every single time, I was like, why is Nemo on the ground?
yeah.
Did Nemo get hurt? Like every time I watched the movie, I had that exact same question.
But I think it's just for the like moments where we flash back to the first scene where he's like holding Nemo on the ground, and he's like, I love you. And Nemo says, Dad, I don't hate you. And he's like, oh, I know. I met a turtle, and turtle is 150 years old. But he's like, and Sandy Plankton. He's like, and Sandy Plankton, what? What about it? Did Sandy Plankton travel the ocean to see you? Uh, but
Maybe we
like
don't
also there's
know.
a ton of luck in this movie. Like Marlon got super duper lucky. And I'm so glad because this movie is perfect. But like sometimes if you like suspend the disbelief and like, oh my God, like some of the plot of movies in general is like, oh, it's crazy that like the amount of luck that some certain things have to happen. Like just name a movie, any movie. And it's like the key details happen. But that's sometimes so crazy that there is a little bit of luck in movies.
See, here's my personal opinion about life is majority of luck, and it's just how you are able to
Maximize
rebound
it.
from the
Yeah.
actions. Yeah.
Exactly. Um, but yeah, so Marlin is excited for school. We get the opposite, the inverse of the first scene. And then they're swimming to school. And then he tells the full Mollis joke, and he's like, "Who needs fronds when you got anemones?"
Mm,
And AJ and I are like, "Yes,
yeah,
good job,
that
Marlin."
was a joke.
Um,
Is it a joke?
I
It was an
guess.
attempt.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Did you actually do all the things you did, Marlon?" They still call him Marty. And then Bruce shows up. Well, hi. And then the octopus dad inks. And uh, yeah, Dory is like, "Okay, Dory, see you next week." And then Nemo gives Marlin a hug,
Hmm.
and Squirt joins, and he's like, "Exchange student," and he's like, "Dude," and then Mr. Ray's leaving, and then Nemo's like, "Wait, wait," and he's like, goes gives Marlin a hug, and I'm like, "Oh, I love this image of them hugging." He's like, "I love you, Dad. Bye, Dad. Bye, son." And then we get the end, and then we get a post-credit scene where the fish escaped. And they're like waiting for Peach, and he's like, "That was the fastest red light I've ever seen in my life." And then Peach falls, and then Bloat's like, "Now what?"
Now what?
Doom, doom,
I,
doom,
what
doom.
pause? You know what? Pause. The bloke could have like expanded and poked holes in that bag. Now I don't know if he
Probably.
would have survived it, but he could have done it.
Yeah, that's what they gotta do. They gotta also have Nigel come rip the bag apart.
Yeah, use his unlucky fin.
Yeah, right? Or just like
Hmm.
go find a rusty nail in the harbor.
Or just start biting. Just start
Yeah,
going at it. Like
exactly. But yeah, somewhere beyond the sea. That's the Finding Nemo movie. So what do you want to talk
yes.
about first? Do you want to talk about like the themes and like any big what like big takeaways from the movie, like overall as a film?
I've very much enjoyed Finding Nemo as a film. It was really fun. I really did enjoy it a lot. I like here's my thing. Watching it back, I did not realize how many lines I remembered, and I feel like I remember 80% of the lines of this movie.
We love
Like
it.
I could have like
Quoted
quote
this
went along
movie.
with word for word, bar for bar, like basically. But yeah, I think it was a lot of fun. I very much enjoyed it. Um, yeah, happy. I think this was one of the ones I was more excited to watch, and I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah, no, I love this movie so much. It is, like I said, going to be my number one at the end of this project. We'll see at the end of the project, but for now, it's number
We'll
one.
see.
But I love the themes of like exploring fatherhood and like
Hmm.
father-son relationships, fear and anxiety, the freedom of what you can have in life, independence,
Hmm.
childhood. Life is for living, exposure therapy, like representation for disability between like mental disabilities, like Dory's short-term memory loss, and then physical disabilities with Nemo and Gil.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's just like a great, great film. Incredible animation, incredible set pieces, lots of fun characters, great score. It's just cinema masterpiece. Like it's a perfect movie to me. And I was so moved. I cried watching this movie. This is the first one during this Pixar watch that I cried at. I don't know if we should keep score. Like who cries more? This have you cried yet at anything?
No, and I
No?
bet you'll cry more than me.
I probably
Go
will,
for
yeah. I mean, technically, I've already
it.
cried for three movies that I've watched for this project, but I've also watched two movies that we haven't even recapped yet,
Ah, fair enough, fair
for
enough.
Toy Story 3 and 4. Did not cry in 5. So that
Mm.
is something to note. But yeah, no, Finding Nemo, I don't know, just like, I think I never cried as a kid. And then when I watched it in November, I cried. And then
Oh.
watching it now, I think it's like becoming an adult and living alone in a state far away from my parents, especially when I'm thinking about like my dad and Father's Day being tomorrow, it's just like, oh, like I am independent, but I miss the protection of like having that
Mm.
father figure that's going to take care of you. And then it's also like, how special the time together that you do have. Sorry.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, no, I feel you.
Mhm.
Especially 'cause, like, what's the thing? It's like n- a parent spends 90% of their time with their children before they turn 18, like,
Yeah.
which tells you how little time you actually have with your parents left. Not that they die or stuff like that, but like just basically life happens. Like you have to work, they have jobs, X, Y, Z. Like
Yeah.
that's this if you move away, especially like it's.
It's just a lot harder being an adult. Like there's a lot of things I love about my adult life, but then there's also the times where it's like, oh, I just wish I could go home and like hang out with my parents and like just like
Mhm,
live at home still in some ways. But I also know there's like the flip side of that coin where I would lose my mind if I was living with my parents, in some ways as well. But it's just like I have a newfound appreciation for what my parents have given me throughout
mhm,
my life, now that I don't see them as often as I used to. And I love this movie as a kid. It's always been my favorite movie, but I think I have a deeper appreciation for like a parent-child relationship, especially when you have like traditionally like overprotective parents who like
mhm,
will like be heavily involved in like trying to tell you what they think you should do with the moves you have to make in your life and like what actions to take. And it's just like sometimes it's like let me do me,
mhm,
especially at this point in my life where it's like I'm on the phone with my parents and they're telling me things that I've already like done the actions when I'm complaining about something and I just need them to complain to.
mhm,
But they're like, no, you should do this. And it's like, I've already done that. Just let me talk. But I don't know. I just like really resonate with like Marlon being both my parents. Obviously, he's like a father figure, but like I very much like, and Marlon's like a dorky, silly dad also, and I'm like, okay, I can see my dad as that role, and I see myself as Nemo a lot. Like I really do feel like I also appreciate the fact that like Nemo has his own journey where he makes his own new friends, where they see his
Hmm.
strengths and he gets to show off and learn from them as well, and like bring these skills that he's learned back to his dad when they get reunited. And his dad is able to entrust him to help the other fishes swim down based on the
Hmm.
journey that they've had separately. So like it's both like, oh, your parents can teach you so much, but these other fish that you encounter teach you so much as well. There's so much to life. But there, I don't know. I just like it really wrecked me, and it's just like it was happy tears. It's like I love this movie. I love that Nemo and Marlin are reunited. I love this family bond, and like their bond is special, like because they are all each other have, and now they get to have
Hmm.
Dory, and they have like a bigger community. But like you don't, I doubt Nemo had friends. I bet that's probably why he was so excited to go to school, is because like his whole life he's like you said earlier, he's been under his dad's magnifying glass.
Hmm.
And so I just love this movie. It definitely is number one for me. Where do you have it on your rankings? I feel like we should start there.
Okay. I'll also put this movie at number one. I
Yes.
yeah, this has been my favorite movie so far. Like, here's the thing, and it's not even close. Like, I think I don't even think what's that movie called? Toy Story 2 wasn't even close for me when it came to surpassing Toy Story. I watched this, I was like, yeah, halfway through, I was like, yeah, this is it. Like, Toy Story has nothing on Finding Nemo. And no offense to Toy Story, I know it's a great movie. I just loved every aspect of it. I loved the open world concept of it. I love that this movie was willing to take a risk that I don't think other movies have yet been able to willing to take, and risk that like other movies are willing to take now. And I think because of this movie and how successful it was, and how it's like you like I get it, it's a kid, but like this like grown story about like tr going through trials and tribulations, about how you deal with grief, how you deal with loss, like not being afraid of the unknown, like being willing to expand your horizon. I also think like underrated, like the need for community,
Yeah.
like I not Marvin, Marlon's shown like how hard it is to like be doing this by yourself. And it is so hard to raise a child by yourself. It's so hard to do a lot of things by yourself. And like to have a community, like even if they don't know exactly what you're going through, like having a community there that's willing to support you, do things, is like so needed, so valuable. Like you are able to do so much more than you think you could do on yourself. Like there's so many times, and I feel like you know this, feel this fully. There's been people that's been able to see stuff in you that you have not been able to see in yourself.
And I
And
think
like,
Gil saw that in Nemo also,
mhm.
which
Yes, yes.
and then like Dory saw that in Marlin.
Hmm.
And yeah, Crush also saw that in Marlin. I think that it's
Yes.
like this chapter of growth for them. Like this is a defining moment. I forget where I heard or read this, but like people said like a movie is like the most important moment of a person's life, is like the story that is in the movie, right? It's like the
Mhm.
key defining moment of that person, a key defining journey of that person's life is the story of whatever movie you're watching.
Mhm.
And obviously this is like going to be a transformative experience for these characters. And
Mhm.
community, I think, is also like very important. So like how we learn outside of it, our parents, like when we go to
Mhm.
school, when we go to these different areas, and then also like the community that the parents have as well. So yeah,
Mhm.
you made a lot of great points, and just I am excited for Pixar being willing to like go and have more like deeper conversations with these films, whereas like
Mhm.
community has been a core part of these stories so far, but I feel like this was the first like heavy hitter. I feel like Toy Story was a heavy hitter in the way that it like changed animation, but
Mhm.
like this is like the most depth a movie's had, I think, in terms of like overall story and like relatability for everyone involved. Whereas like Toy
Mhm.
Story is just like a fun romp, Monsters Inc.'s a fun romp, and like they have themes that are powerful,
Yeah.
but I think this one hits deeper and has more levels,
Yes, I agree.
like the
I agree.
ocean.
Like generally through like each beat, like I think each beat like you have some fun, but each beat like has a different life
Yeah.
lessons that it has for you.
Yeah,
That
and
like,
you can unpack each scene independently and like find
mhm.
so much to pull from it thematically and like story
Yes.
structure and just like I don't know, there's so much metatextual levels of this story.
Yes, I agree. So I love
Um
it.
Yes, so our new number one, goodbye Bugs Life from the Mount Rushmore. You are officially no longer on the Mount Rushmore. Mine is Finding Nemo, Toy Story 2, Toy Story, and Monsters Inc. And Ages is the same, but with the Toy Story switched. So far we've been mostly in sync. I feel like Incredibles might be a fun destabilizer for us because I could see it being the top for either of us, or also being like I feel like I don't see Finding Nemo being knocked, but like I could see Incredibles being like a player in like the topper echelon for both of us.
Like
That like destabilizes the rankings a little bit.
I disagree. I don't know how Incredibles is going to go, but my gut says like we're going to be on the same page with Incredibles. Like I think after Incredibles, that's when we are going to
Okay.
start having different lists, like Cars, Ratatouille, Wally.
My for sure. I
Yes.
do think Incredibles might be kind of like something that like is slightly different though. I feel like we're
Mm.
pretty much on the same page besides the Toy Stories. And I think Incredibles could be something where we like have a point difference
Like
versus
you
like
say difference.
Ratatouille.
Like you say difference. Like our difference is you have Toy Story currently number two. No, Toy Story 2 at number two and Toy Story at three. And I'm like flip that around from
But
two
I
to three.
think
So it's like right
Incredibles
there.
and you and I might have a like one or two spot difference with the Incredibles, so it might like kind of change the points just
Mm.
a touch, like for overall.
Like I'm ready for the movie where it's like you have it like number three and I have it like number nine.
I wonder if that's gonna be. If I had to guess, it's like Coco, and I'm scared.
I really think it's gonna be Ratatouille.
Ratatouille, interesting. That's Navi's favorite. Um, she
Like
had,
Coco's gonna be interesting because I told you I did not have a good
yeah,
initial feeling about Coco, but like I'm willing to change.
yeah. I feel like there's nothing gonna be like super destabilizing. It's gonna be a lot of like middle, like where it falls in the middle rankings. But I feel like the tops and the bottoms are gonna be pretty similar throughout.
Fair enough.
But let's head over to the song tiers because we kind of talked about that in the pre-show. Beyond the Sea by Robbie Williams. I believe it's originally Dean Martin, but where are you putting that, AJ?
I will put it at I'll put it at C tier. I'll be honest with you. Um, like, cause here's the thing. I forgot this song existed before you tested me. So it
Valid.
was like, so it's like not, it's not that memorable of a song. And when I started listening to the lyrics, it did not like connect much to the
Well,
actual
this
movie,
is
but minus the fact that like it talks about the sea or being like, oh, the sea, whatever it was saying.
Well, because this is originally a French song called La Mer by Charles Trenet, popularized by Bobby Darin in 1959, and then they used it famously in Finding Nemo,
Mhm,
um, and by the Robbie Williams version. So it's like the first song that wasn't written for the movie.
mhm.
So I feel
And I can
like
tell.
for that. With that, I feel like it definitely can't be the top tier, so I'm gonna put it also in B. That being said, I'd rather listen to this than if I didn't have you, with no disrespect to John Goodman and Billy Crystal. So I feel like I'm putting this right above if I didn't have you,
Okay.
under Woody's Roundup. So, and I don't know, this is like I associate the song heavily with Finding Nemo, even though it's not an original song for Finding Nemo.
Mhm.
But in terms of scores, I feel like the score is fantastic, and
It's a great score.
yeah. Uh, I don't know if Incredibles has a song with music,
I
with
don't think
lyrics,
so.
but they have dun 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 dun, which could be. Uh,
Like,
oh,
like
maybe they have "Here Comes Elastigirl." That might be, or that might be
like
Incredibles too.
I like expect like The Incredibles be like a top three score for me when it's all said
I
and
mean,
done.
Finding Nemo is definitely up there for me for now, and we'll talk about. Maybe we can talk about it at the end. But
Yeah.
let's go to the villains. I have Dentist and Darla. Do you want to start with Darla since you had some things to say?
Yes. I don't think we should even be considering Darla. Darla's not a villain. Darla is not
Darla's not a villain.
Darla is not a villain
Okay,
like at all. So
and
if
your
we are
point
considering
is.
Darla, Darla would be F. Because because Darla is actively just a child. Like she like
So is
we are
Sid.
yeah, but Sid actually does like rude stuff. Like he's mean to his sister. He's mean to the toys. He tries to blow up someone else's toys. Like Darla is literally just like, "Hey, I'm getting a fish. I'm super excited." We've all tapped if well, people who act kids. We all tapped on that little glass thing that the fishes were in, and we did not know we were horrifying the fishes. Like Darla, you say she was shaking Nemo. Like we all learned. Like if you want to wake someone up, you have to shake them. Like
But
she
I
is
would
not
not
doing.
shake the fish because I saw this movie and Darla was being a menace, and I don't want the
You
fish to go belly
know,
up.
you know now, when you were a 6-year-old child who has never seen this movie, you would have done the same thing.
Darla's
Like,
8.
Darla is a child. It's like,
She's a no, she's not. She's a piranha.
if she's saying stuff like that, there is not evil intent in that baby's girl body. She just do not know how to take care of a fish, an animal, which none of us did at that age.
I think we should keep Darla just because this is entertaining me. But I'll give her an F for you. I believe that's where
And,
you're landing.
and F is as in not a villain at all.
So is there another tier for that, or like
You
maybe
we no,
like
we're putting an F.
F, like a bad villain because she's not a villain?
Yes. Where
Okay,
do you want Darla?
I'll put her in F as well. Like I feel
Thank
like
you.
she's I feel like yeah, I feel like the dentist is probably above.
Yes.
But also like he was just going on a fishing trip with his friends. I'm gonna put him at D. I might be convinced to move him to C theoretically. But
Mhm.
I want to hear what you have to say.
Here's my thing, and I'm not about to give credit to the dentist, but like I think here's the thing about like what is it, Hopper,
Well,
Prospector, Water News, the people that are in my S and A tiers, is that they are characters that move the plot forward,
yeah.
and this plot does not happen without
No, they're valid. Well, so my think was like, okay, he's definitely around where Al is because they're both like kind of like just
mhm.
doing life. Al did steal Woody, so I think he's worse than the dentist because the dentist was just kind of like going fishing, going deep sea diving. So that's why I put him lower than Al. But you have something to say, so I'm gonna let you speak on it.
Like you can like if you want to put him in a D tier because he's just a villain that's just living his life, I think that is perfectly fine. I will give that to you. This man is an active menace to society, like, and we are not talking about that
Okay,
enough.
okay, speak on it.
This man is playing in this other person's mouth and is easily distracted and snatched their tooth out and was like, well, I guess this is the right tooth. I guess this is what he's bad at his job, Felipe. He's Felipe, his fish tank is dirty. He said, let's cancel the morning plans. Like, we're canceling all he says, you know what? My niece killed an animal, so I'm gonna get her another animal to kill. Like this man does not care about his patients. He does not care about his family. He does not care about marine life because isn't it a thing like in Australia, the coastal, you have to protect. Those are protected lands.
Well, I don't know if they were on the Great Barrier Reef proper, but they were like deep sea diving, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I don't trust this man. I don't
so you're
trust him.
putting him in A? You think he's that much of a
No,
villain? Oh,
no, no.
okay.
Like he's a terrible human. He's
Wow.
so mean to Barbara.
Barbara.
Yes.
AJ wants a spinoff about Barbara.
Like this, like everyone's here like, oh, Darla's terrifying, Darla's evil. The dentist is putting these fishes in peril. It's not Darla's fault that Darla is a child.
So where do you have the dentist?
I have to have like here's the thing, because he's not a good villain, I cannot rank him high. But I will be the opposite of you. I'll put him right above Al in the C tier.
Okay, so he's worse than Al. Why
He
is
is
he
worse
worse
than
than
Al.
Al?
Al just wanted to make money. Just wanted to
Uh,
he just like yes, he stole, and stealing is not good. Stealing is actively bad. You should not steal.
Al
But
just
like,
wanted to make money.
but you know what Al did after his plans were foiled? He went back to work.
He did go back to work.
He just went back to work. That's all he does. And raise your hand if you hate your job. Exactly. I'll
Um,
just hated his job and just wanted to make money.
yeah, that's valid. All right. And then lastly, we have to do our MVPs, LVPs. I already put mine in. Should I go first, or
Yeah, go
do you have
first.
things? So I put Nemo as my Luxo Lamp spotlight. I think that this movie is all about Nemo. I feel like he helps his dad grow. I was between Nemo and Dory, and then I was like, Dory made me laugh more, so I'm gonna put Dory in laughs, Nemo in regular. But I just feel like they're the ones who elicit the most growth from Marlin. They're the core to his evolution, and I mean, I just identify a lot with Nemo. So from Lucky Finn to Lucky Finn will give my point to Nemo. What about you? Are you giving it to
I
Dory?
will also give it to Nemo.
Oh,
I'll double up with
slay!
you. I will say the one thing we did not dig in on, which I think would have been interesting to dig on, is Nemo's um opinion about well how Nemo is dealing with not having a mom or a mother figure.
Yeah,
Like we don't really go deep into that. It's just like, oh, I hate my dad, and they're like, oh no, dad
this was
saved
a
me.
very father figure movie. Like all the
Yes,
dads are dropping the kids off at the school. Like even if
yes.
they have partners at home, we don't see it. And I'd like to think that Sheldon's dad has a male lover because seahorses are notably gay. Um, Sheldon, get out of Mr. Johansson's yard now.
You're funny. But yeah, I think I enjoy Nemo. I think
Yeah.
Nemo also has done a like we talked about the growth of Marlin. Nemo also does a lot of growing. He grows more confident. He
Yeah.
grows more independent. He's like, and he grows a newfound love and appreciation for his dad. So I think Nemo did a great stuff
Yeah. And
throughout this film.
I love the fact that like his disabilities never stops him. It maybe
Mm-mm.
it gives Marlin hesitation, it gives other characters
Yes.
hesitation, but Nemo's like the only time we see it affecting him is when he's like stuck in the tube and he wants help, but like Gil's like not gonna baby him. He's like, "No, you can do this. I'm gonna treat you like any other fish, and I know you can do this." And he
Hmm.
does it. And we never see Nemo like feel like he can't do anything besides that because of his lucky fin. He's very like competent. He knows he can do things, and I love that aspect, especially like representing a disabled character. Like
Hmm.
this is probably like the first representation of disability that I encountered growing up
I think
in
that's
a
fair.
movie or a show because we were so young when this movie came out that it also
At least that
isn't like
wasn't
a
treated like a joke.
yeah, and it wasn't also like something that I feel like was as commonly discussed. So like the fact that
Hmm.
it was so cared for in this film. Like we didn't even have to be like, oh, having conversations about it because it's just like handled exceptionally well.
Hmm.
But yeah, what about you with the comedy? Are you also giving it to Dory?
I hate that we're doubling up, but I do have to give it to Dory.
This movie is just so perfect.
Like Dory, like I think Dory is just like Miss Potato Head in the first Toy Story movie. Her first line was a banger, and she did not stop telling jokes. She just kept going, and it like there were so many quotable ones that we just glossed over because there's
Yeah.
just so many. There's just too many.
Goodbye, Elmo. Yeah. And unlike Mr. Potato Head, she has a lot of like depth and heart to her character as well, where it's like not
Mhm.
just jokes per minute. It's also like the jokes have layers, and she has like sentimental moments as well, where it's not
Yes.
just laughs. She has some lines that like are played for laughs, but also have a deeper layer. Like, well, that's a little silly because if nothing ever happens to him, well, then nothing ever happens to him. And just like there's so many fun moments there, and I remember, and like there, she's the heart and soul of this movie as well. So,
Yes.
um, yeah, I love Marlon too. I know he's not getting a
Yes.
point here, but maybe in Finding Dory.
Yeah.
Um,
But another thing about the dentist, like this mother effer, he leaves the windows open, even though he knows that seagulls keep flying in there. These patients are not coming in here to be like assaulted by birds. Like, why does this man not keep his door closed and get some AC? Like, what is this man doing? What is this man doing?
AJ, so is he getting your PT bag of
I,
dust?
I hate that man. The answer is no, but like honestly, he deserves it so bad.
Yeah. See, you know who I hate? The Moonfish, the School of Moonfish. They are getting my PT Flea Bag of Dust. Another John Ratzenberger character that his namesake, the PT Flea Bag of Dust, is named because of a John Ratzenberger character.
Hmm.
So they're getting my. They were just so mean. They were not
Hmm.
helpful. All Marlon wanted was directions, and they were ignoring him being rude. He wants to find his son. That is a father in peril. And uh, kind of rude that you only listen when Dory's upset. Like it takes a woman crying for you to step in and like check in on your neighbors. Rude.
Yes.
So they're getting my PT flea bag of dust. What about you, AJ?
I don't know how you're gonna write this on a spreadsheet. I'm
Darla?
giving mine, huh?
Darla?
No, I'm gonna give mine to every fish in this film that has met Marlin. It's like, oh, you're a clownfish. Tell us a joke. Like that was so freaking annoying. If Felipe, you're a funny person, you do stand up. Like it is so freaking annoying when people like tell us a joke, make us laugh. Like that is so rude and so. And they needed to stop, and they kept doing it. Marlin's hecklers, I like
Seekers and hecklers.
it.
Marlon jokes, seekers, and hecklers. That's what I wrote.
Like they
Yeah,
needed to
no, that
stop.
is very annoying. Like, yo, you just stand up, tell us a joke. I'm like, no, come see a show. Pay for my comedy. Um, yeah, me and Marlon, we're going on the road. We're on the road to Sydney.
Hey.
Um, is Family Guy our fifth season? Um, but yeah, so that's where we got. We got our song tiers. We got our villains. Yeah, no changes in your Mount Rushmore either, right? So,
No.
yeah, so our Mount Rushmore for villains is still Stinky Pete, Waternoose, Hopper, and Randall in different orders for us. And then our movie rankings for Mount Rushmore are Finding Nemo, Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc. for AJ, and then you swap the Toy Stories for me. But
Mhm.
yeah, we are five down, AJ.
25 to go.
No, 26.
Ooh.
Toy Story 5 is now out.
Oh, shut up.
We got
Oh, shut
31 movies, 26, and we're having a blast. The next one is Incredibles. But before we tease Incredibles, anything else you want to say about Finding Nemo? Any more thoughts on the dentist? Any more things you want to say about this world? Other than that, I just love this movie. It made me cry. I was so happy. I was so giddy after watching it. on Thursday night.
Mhm.
So I left Toy Story 5 and I had like 40 minutes left. And it's like that feeling where it's like, oh, I have to do my homework. And then you do it and you're like, and then I was like literally buzzing. I went on Blue Sky and I tweeted the perfect movie and I put the screenshot of Nemo and Marlin. I put a perfect movie on my letterbox. I was just like so giddy about this movie. I was like buzzing with joy and like literally crying. I think I sent you a Snapchat of me crying. I was like, they don't make movies like this anymore. This movie's perfect.
Need to check Snapchat
Are you
more.
gonna put it on the podcast?
No, I just need to check Snapchat
Yeah.
more.
I mean, you're studying for the bar. It's okay. I
uh,
sent it to like it was a mass Snapchat, so I know Nicole Horn got it, Will
mm.
Davis got it, and I was just like, this movie is perfect. So I just love Finding Nemo so much. This is a movie that is foundational to me. It is my favorite movie of all time, and I just love this world, this franchise, and I'm just so grateful that Andrew Stanton told this story in such an exceptional way that it met me when I was at age where I was about to turn 6. So I was like 5 when I first saw this movie.
Mhm.
And this movie transformed my life. It makes me who I am. It is a part of my identity. And I just love this movie. And I love my dad and my mom and my brother. And happy Father's Day to all the fathers who love Finding Nemo.
Yes. Uh,
AJ, anything for you about Finding Nemo before we move on to Incredibles?
I think we said, I don't know if this is in our first podcast or in our preview podcast. And I said, I feel like whichever of the first five movies ends at number one, they're going to be in it for a long time, if ever removed. And like,
Yeah.
I genuinely feel that. Like, I'm willing to be proven wrong, but just looking at the list of movies left from Pixar, it's hard for me to see which movie in my book would top Finding Nemo.
I
Like,
mean,
that's how much I love Finding Nemo. And like, I'm not saying there's like there's like, because there's some, what is it, bangers that are coming out. Like Inside Out, like that's coming down the road. That's a banger. Incredibles next week, I know is a banger. Um, Listen, I don't know how y'all feel about Turning Red. I freaking adore Turning
I
Red.
love Turning Red.
So like I know there are like
Yeah.
bangers that are coming, but like Finding Nemo, I feel like it's truly is the gold standard of Pixar.
I know some people love Ratatouille and Wally and Up. Like those movies are perfection to people. I have my memory, like the first core. Like I feel like Cars is like the level of Pixar that I rewatch the most. So that's the one I've like seen all these movies, but I don't know them as well.
Hmm.
So like for me, the big contenders to like potentially unseat Finding Nemo, just looking at the document, are like Toy Story 3,
Hmm.
Coco, Inside Out, Elemental for me.
Hmm.
Um, but like even Hoppers theoretically could, but I don't think any of those movies for me, like off the top of my head, Inside Out or Coco are the only two that like feel like, oh, this might like knock Finding Nemo out.
Hmm.
I also love Soul, but I don't think Soul's knocking this out. I
No,
don't know.
sure.
For me, this could be like our number one forever. And even like we're gonna have bangers. Like Incredibles is gonna be a deep contender, but
Hmm.
I don't know like top tier Pixar if like we're gonna get something as passionate, but it's also like when we grew up, right? So it's very core to who we are. So
Hmm.
maybe that's an impact, and we'll talk about it all. But
Yeah.
speaking of
I
Incredibles,
always admit when I'm biased.
yeah, except
And
in the law.
I'll even admit my bias there. Now with that being said, I want to just jump on this one more time because we talked about the score a lot. We talked about the
Oh,
writing a
the
lot, the
score is so
characters a
good.
lot. Like so visually, like I
Oh,
just it's so good.
like
It's
I want
just
to go to
so
the
good.
ocean. I want to be scuba diving.
Oh, it's just so good. This is
Like I
such
want
a
to be
good
like
movie.
Mike Wazowski in the credits and go into the ocean.
Like literally, like it's
Yeah.
so good, Felipe. But go to Incredibles.
Yeah, so what do you want to talk about Incredibles? Like preview it. Like for me, at least for me, like I remember seeing Incredibles in theaters. I think I saw Finding Nemo in theaters. I think I saw Monsters Inc. in theaters, but I don't remember for sure. I know I saw Incredibles on Thanksgiving of 2004. My friends that were at my house for Thanksgiving were going. Their parents were going to take them, and then I asked if I could go, and they said absolutely. So my parents let me go, and then the next day, my mom took me to see the SpongeBob SquarePants movie in theater.
Ooh.
So I did two movies back to back. So I have a core memory of Incredibles. Like I love the Incredibles. It's a subversion of superhero storytelling, which is very exciting, especially in 2026 when we're like very superheroed out. Um, but I'm very excited about it. Like, I mean, Jack is incredible. Dash, I loved as a kid. I played a lot of the Incredibles GameCube game, and the Dash levels were always my favorite. Elastigirl, you know, we love Elastigirl. Just like I love that family. I don't know if I love them more than Finding Nemo, but I'm excited to discuss. And I mean, we're definitely gonna have a conversation about Mount Rushmore villains. I think next week, or next podcast, whenever we talk about Incredibles, because Syndrome might knock someone out. What about you, AJ?
Like, listen, Syndrome has to be a very much a disappointment for me in that movie if he's not going to knock someone out. Like, that's how
Yeah.
hard. Like, I think if you tell me Pixar villains, I think Syndrome is literally the first one that pops in my head.
For me, it's
No,
Lotso, I think, but Syndrome's up there. Syndrome's up there.
fair enough.
Ernesto de la Cruz also.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. It may probably because like he's
Oh,
like,
and Water and Randall, of course. But
yeah, but he's literally a villain. Like,
yeah,
like
he's a
he's
super villain. He's
exactly.
like I saw a Reddit thread that's like who's the most evil Pixar villain, and like Water was getting a lot of people, but they were like Syndrome literally killed people, like 15 people at least. And then someone was like, but Water and Randall were gonna try to kill Boo, like Fungus, who's an adult monster, almost died after 1 minute of being in the scream extractor. Like he was gonna kill a child, and he's gonna kidnap 1,000 childs to keep this company alive, or so help me,
Listen, kidnapping children is bad. It is very
right?
bad. It's
Mm-hmm.
very bad.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm excited. Oh, also Mirage. Love Mirage. Oh, where's my super suit? We're gonna talk about. We're gonna have so much fun. Samuel L.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Jackson. Yeah, we're gonna have a blast.
Yes.
But with all that said, AJ, plug-a-roonies.
Plug a Rooney's. The only thing I'm going to be plugging is go check out my podcast with Matt talking about Drake and Josh, the Free Agents podcast, Millennial TV, where me and Matt are talking about Drake and Josh every week. It's a fun time. It's a blast. That's it.
Yes, and if you see AJ in the pool, please rip it, roll it, and punch it.
Me and Felipe are going to fight when we meet this time.
Um, in terms of me, so yeah, of course, Incredibles. There's also some back catalog if you're wanting to listen to Toy Story 5 coverage, Toy Story
Yes.
preview podcast with Navi and Will. We are in talks of getting the What You Doing podcast back up and running for Phineas and
Woo!
Ferb. We also got Slime Time Rewind projects coming on that end. Nicole is in England right now, but we have something on the docket to talk about this summer. Definitely maybe multiple things because we definitely are going to do a Camp Rock 3 podcast whenever that comes out. But with all that said, the best way to subscribe to everything is going on your favorite podcast app, ideally Apple or Spotify, but you can go on any app and rate, review, leave us a review, 5-star ratings. You can dog AJ with 4 or with 5, but don't praise him with 4. And you can subscribe on YouTube as well. We have the visual components online. Financially, you can go support Brazilian Dragon Productions on Patreon and Substack, Brazilian Dragon Substack. I'm writing some essays on there. So check all that stuff out. Otherwise, if you want to get me a birthday present, my birthday's coming up at time of this release. Go
Whoop, whoop.
rate on 5 stars, Apple Podcast, write a review, and share it with your friends, and follow and subscribe on everything. Like, even if you don't want to listen, which I would love if you listened, just like go subscribe, give us some numbers. I am producing a comedy show in September, and more details to come on that as well. But otherwise, go follow me at What the Fleep on Instagram, the Brazilian Dragon on Instagram also, and you can also follow me on Letterboxd at Brazilian Dragon. And AJ, anything else as we approach the station?
I'm ready to get on the train to go watch the
Uh,
next movie.
Thank you, Finding Nemo. Happy Father's Day, belated to all of you. Go Brazil in the World Cup, and we're heading to the drop off. Obrigado for listening. Goodbye.
Wait. I
Okay,
forgot. I was going to tell you that. I was going to ask you since this is coming out around the time of the World Cup Championships. Who's winning?
Brazil.
Okay. Oh, dang. Oh, you are Brazilian.
Yeah, this is literally Brazilian
You
Dragon Productions.
are.
But yes.
Fair enough.
All right. So we are leaving the drop off. We are on our way to P. Sherman, 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. Obrigado for listening. Goodbye.